all this stuff here. So I think I'm still hooked up. All right, hopefully y'all can hear me now. Let me turn this up real quick. Sorry about my finger being there and all that. We impromptu right now because I figured I had to get on here and talk. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people talking, man. A lot of people talking. Y'all give me a second. Let me share this. All right. Let me share this. Let me just share this. It's gonna be a long live. I'm letting y'all know right now. So if y'all ain't ready to rock out with me, don't rock out with me. Also, I've encouraged all y'all. I'm gonna put this in here in a minute. Make sure y'all hit that cash app. What's going on, Javon? First person here. What's going on, y'all? Nothing. I've been going for a minute, man. I had to take off for a couple of days. I hope y'all grabbed some of the shorts I was putting up. Thank you very much, Devon. Hope y'all was checking some of the what's things I was putting up, the shorts I was putting up, and everything like that. A lot of times I put them shorts up because I'm trying to tell y'all something without telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all when I was down there at the actually there in person at the previous now three arraignments with Puff. I told y'all then I played the role of neutrality. I got to throw up the clip for my man's um and his little impromptu interview I did, whatever, until I'll get to the bottom of this. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us are not as spoken or outspoken as myself. Probably looking, yeah, yeah, sure. Whatever you say, man. Um, a lot of people that are in this conversation are not properly involved. You understand what I'm saying? In the music industry, and they kind of just like talk a lot. And a lot of them are going to certain websites or whatever or apps and getting the information from there and rolling along with it. I would tell all y'all to go to accredited sources or whatever. I do play the role of neutrality in this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I play the role of neutrality in it because there's a lot of suits, you know. There's a lot of suits. I just found out today, what you're gonna talk about in a little bit, about the one girl who obviously is lying. I told y'all this a week and a half ago when I put up the joint for Big Joe. You know what I'm saying? I heard Uncle Paulie get mentioned today too by Big Midwest. Shout out to Big Midwest, man. Big Midwest. I stay off these internet streets if I were you. But shout out to Gene Dill, man. You know, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't throw them names out there. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? You know what I mean? Don't throw them names out there, man. But that is the truth, though, because that's what we knew. We knew Big Polly, Uncle Polly, whoever you want to call him. You don't believe me? Go ask Gene Dill. You know what I'm talking about. I even throw you on one before he even start. A lot of people, there's a clip I threw up. And I'm gonna revert back to what I was talking about because it's now this witness that a lot of people, and I heard Gene talking about it earlier too, where she had pointed out Big Joe. Shout out to Big Joe Eastside, man. I know you ain't from there, but that's what we know you from. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know Joe wasn't with Bad Boy that long. He wasn't. He wasn't. I could testify to that. Um, because I was around them years. You know what I'm saying? Big Joe, you know what I'm saying, was more known to be with Cam and them, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I think that's really what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I can give you numerous examples of how, and if you don't believe me, go ask Cam and Mace. They'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Tell them professionals sit you over there. They don't know. But I'm telling you the truth. Like Big Joe was more so with Cam and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Than he was with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that he temporarily bodyguard for Puff a couple of times, but it was under the direction, just like he said. Like, he said it perfectly right. I can't take nothing away from him. It was definitely Wolf and Big Uncle Polly that was part of everything. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you ain't go through them dudes, you wasn't really security for Puff. In my personal opinion, I know certain people at Bad Boy Entertainment that will attest to that. That were around that time. I ain't gonna shout their name because I want people, like, everybody's on this pointing thing now. You know what I mean? And like, we found in this girl that I said connected with Big Joe. And when I threw up that clip of Joe talking about, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. I never even met this woman. I wanted people to know that bodyguard of Puff, if y'all not familiar with what I'm talking about, that bodyguard of Puff had been accused of something by the same woman. And there's a litany of different messages that she sent Joe, asking him to go along with or aid in, basically pointing the finger at Puff and something he ain't had nothing to do with. I went over there and I watched Granny Panties last night, and she started to get sharp. You know what I'm saying? Maybe sometimes you need to listen to your man, because the crowd is telling you listen to your man too. And I also got a nice little piece where somebody called you a liar. Gotta be careful, Granny Panties. Gotta be careful. But your husband, he do due diligence because he pulling out what's there to offer. You know what I'm saying? What's the offer is it's a chick lying. We got our first chick lying, and it's been exposed that she's lying. And even more so, we got these two particular lawyers. I forgot what the black female's name is. I'm gonna look her up in a minute. And then Tony Bugsby representing the litany of these witnesses or whatever you want to say, or alleged victims. I hate when people say the victims. No, they're alleged victims until they have a conviction. Good thing we don't run the courts off of YouTube opinions. We'd be in trouble in America. You know what I mean? A lot of us would be in trouble in America. This girl that's lied and try to set up things, and to be in effect that Tony Bugsby, in my personal opinion, is taking this woman on, has taken this woman on as a client, is a danger to the rest of his roster of potential suitors for I think he's going for civil matters in this case. I don't think he's going particularly for criminal actions in this case. I think he's going for civil matters, which it seems like the bulk of these people they're all going for, meaning they want some type of monetary settlement. That's why I asked the question when I was down at the last arraignment to the gentleman that was down there, that he had claimed something that happened to him years ago in the 90s, way before I was at that company or around that company, which is Bad Boy Entertainment, about what happened to him and his interaction with public. I said, well, I can't attest to that nor deny what you're saying because I wasn't even around. I didn't come around the company to 2000 going into 2001, you dig? So for me, it was like it was a different experience. I think within a year of me being there, we had the incident with Sean and all them. You know what I'm saying? Which I got something coming for y'all for that too. I was gonna do it the other night, and then people didn't want to be on camera and shit like that. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll wait for another time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more to it than what y'all reported. And that's the problem. Like I'm actually here in the New York City tri-state. And so now Tesla only being part of the company when this stuff was going on, like the shooting with Shine, all that. We remember all that. We was down to Jacob Javits Center with him, Puff, in the courtroom. And his mother was there at that time too. We watched him, walk away from that. We watched him, however y'all might measure it. You know what I'm saying? We knew Shine too. You know what I'm saying? Like I got pics and everything else, videos with Shine that I've thrown up here a million times. If you just search my channel, you'll find all the stuff that I'm talking about. You'll find a reel of photos, like 3 times, 4 times I put up reels of photos of my times with Bad Boy or whatever. And I still say to this day, um, there's a lot of people out here online talking nowadays, and a lot of these people, they were around or came to these parties or whatever. For some reason or another, there's a real thirst by the women on the blogosphere tip nowadays to take down this man. And I say, okay, if he's guilty, he's guilty. You know what I'm saying? I can live with that. Like even if you're guilty of like 3 or 4 of them, bro, at the most, I didn't have to turn a side eye. But at the same time, what was y'all ferocity with Epstein? What was y'all ferocity with Harvey Weinstein? And I keep saying that because I didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? Was this because these were white women? If that's the case, that's something like you need to disassociate yourself from a lot of movements. I don't find it particularly inviting when women um join a side because I've seen white feminists do this too and white misandrists. They'll join a position a little bit stronger. Like I saw this when it happened with Amber, what was her name? Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. All the feminists joined sides with Amber Heard, but they were all white. There wasn't no black women over there really. Like Amber's right. They weren't trying to take down that. We love Johnny Depp. But I noticed it was a lot of women that were particularly white women that were like, and that's no shots at anybody, but they were like banding behind Amber Heard. And come to find out, Amber Heard is out here, boo-booing in people's beds. Yeah, she did that to Johnny Depp. She boo-booed in his bed. She took a number 2 in his bed. I swear to God, it's the truth. And so what happened was she took a boo-boo in his bed. And not only did she take a boo-boo in his bed, but on more so a fact, she lied on Johnny Depp on the stand. That was the funny thing about it. So she took a dump in his bed and then lied about that, lied about numerous other things or whatever. And we thought at that time, Johnny Depp is out of here. So I think what it was happening is a lot of women of color are starting to see, okay, well, you know what, we can make a living out of this. I really think that. Um, and when I say women of color, I don't just particularly mean black women either, because this woman that is apparently lying is it's one of the worst out of all examples of what we're talking about with these women. That woman that sent Joe those texts and said, "Hey, if you go along with me, I'll make sure I don't mention you." She goes as far as contacting other people as much as Gene is concerned. He said he showed some stuff. Like the woman's lying, dog. And that's a problem. That's a problem for Tony Bugsby or any other lawyer. The other woman that the female lady was representing, black female, she was online talking about, tapes getting shopped and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, do y'all know that's crazy? Like a lot of this stuff is going to get tossed on Puff because of so much busybody and interaction or whatever in the media that you got this bail, the prosecutors opposing the bail hearing and everything now. I heard about that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, they really want to make an example out of Puff, but why? Because I just the other night I heard Pierce Morgan say something that was very, very impactful. Where he said, okay, I get it now. I get it now. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay, but I had to figure out what are you doing? Okay, I get it. But okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I just with this other woman, she went to go do an interview, or I think it was Tasha K. And if any of y'all don't know, Tasha K is this blogger that Cardi B sued for some malicious words. And so based off that, I guess the attorney said that was a bad idea. And so she went to go in, she went to go in their contractual agreement. But then the woman that was accused, and whatever the case may be, she turns around and says, "Oh, my lawyer's a clout chaser." No, sweetie, you're a clout chaser. You went to go do an interview. What are you talking about? And see, it gets very confusing because most of the time, a survivor, they don't want to talk about that type of story. As a matter of fact, most of them hide it in for years. You know what I'm saying? That much I will agree with. Most women, they don't want to sit on a platform and talk about what terrible happened to them. You know what I'm saying? Before they get any type of justice or whatever, if it's warranted. And I'm sorry, I know some of y'all gonna disagree with me with that, but I'm telling you, most women don't want to sit around and have an interview and talk about their experiences of how they were attacked. Most women don't know how to muster up tears out of nowhere for the camera. You know what I'm saying? Either. And so when I see these women, a few of them now, doing this type of stuff, I kind of raise an eyebrow because I said, there's something going on. And I think what it is you're going to see more and more people over there on Tony Bugsby. This is my prediction. You're going to see more and more of those women and reportedly men and children, which I thought was sick. But even if you had that, you didn't have to announce that. You know what I'm saying? That could have been something that was secretly found or whatever. What kind of the kids already been through trauma, or they're kids right now, you're saying, or they were previously kids and now they're adults. I'm trying to figure it out. Check this out, Michael Nugion. Check this out. I was with a Muslim woman for 7 years. You don't know me, pal. Second of all, I don't like people advocating things here unless it's advocating support my cash app. So with that, my friend, I gotta get you up out of here, all right? Because you ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. So anyway, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't like people, promoting their philosophies, promoting their religion. I just don't really go for that because I'm not allowed to go somebody like I don't make it a thing. Let me just explain this, and I'm gonna go back to the premise. I don't make it a thing, even if I don't like the vlogger, I don't like what they're saying. There's like 3 or 4 vloggers right now, right? That I really don't like. It's 2 of them I really, really, really despise. I never ever go to their page as a ritual and interrupt their podcast or flag them or hey, I'm gonna get you, or hey, your feet stink. I never make up lies on them. Like I don't be like, hey, he was in down here and he was messing with kids, or you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where that can lead. Like I'm not gonna jump online and be like, yo, this person is this, that, and other, the third, or this person goes down to Mexico, or this person goes down to here and they mess. I don't do that type of stuff because if you do that type of stuff, you got to realize it's going to be the moments when you offline. You understand what I'm saying? Not somebody charged up because you didn't gave them a false accusation. And so I hope that you vloggers, y'all take that in mind when y'all doing that to other people. Because I see people do that all the time. They'll sit back and they'll cry and be like, oh my channel, or this happened, or that happened, or this happened, right? And then you turn around later, you'll see all the destruction they did prior to that. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, if you don't want that, take his karma is a itch. It comes at you. The same energy you put out is the same energy that come back at you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to slow it down a little bit. That's why I started talking a little bit. You know what I mean? Less or whatever, whatever. I know my capabilities. I don't need to broadcast it all the time. You know what it is. So it's like when I put that in unison in linear fashion with a lot of these vloggers nowadays, what I see from a lot of these vloggers is, especially in the past 3 weeks, and I'll keep saying and reiterating the same thing. A lot of these vloggers are not doing anything but retroping and reshaping stories that are already out there. Most of these stories are hearsay. Most of these stories don't have any potential other than in the moment, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So these are the wow factors that they use to get you views. You understand what I'm saying? I can come on here and do the same thing and it'd be like, okay, now, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bloggers reporting on the same thing. What makes you different? What makes you unique? Nothing. Nothing. But to the ones that are simple minded, it is easy to feed them. That's why I don't feed the simple minded on this channel. You understand what I'm saying? I never feed the simple minded. I never bring people here to gather and ingest my ideas. Don't you notice I tell y'all, look it up yourself? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's cultish mentality, and that's not what we stand for over here. What's going on, Chris? You look like DMX dog. What up? How you doing? Fine. Now I'm doing good. Top of the evening. Bro, hypothetical. You live in the post scarcity world. Water, food, and a place to live are all provided in this world where you don't have to work to survive. What would you do with your time? What would I do with my time? I would do my time what I've always done. Create beautiful music, which I was doing earlier. I was practicing singing. Um, and would I try to unite people? Definitely. I will unite people under a different banner. I think like now, the focus isn't. This is my personal opinion, and then I'll go back to the premise of the conversation. I think it's the discussion isn't necessarily race, even though it's still race. I don't think the conversation is necessarily race anymore. I think the conversation now is gender, and I heavily think that conversation is needed. I think that there's a lot of women out here that are misandrous. I've heard some of these women on their channels, and you get to see their true self. Because prior to this, they were selling a lot of these women. They were having these stories on their channels. They were, and this is not a misogyny or trying to, you know what I'm saying, like belittle women or nothing like that. I'm talking about a segment of women that are going harder than I've ever seen them go hard on a Epstein or you know what I'm saying. Like I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like even if you think dude is guilty or whatever the case may be, everybody that pops up is not telling the truth, and this has now been shown. You know they almost got Big Gene. They almost got him in trouble. It was trying to get the homie Big Joe in trouble. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be other names mentioned. Got you, got you. I hope so, Duffy. You know what I mean? And like people like me, like it's so bad out here on YouTube streets that that type of branding of YouTubing is so lit right now, where it's so much money in it. Like only thing you have to do is turn on your camera and just start talking about Puff. You're gonna make some donations. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So henceforth, I don't get any donations, even though I'm one of the most thorough persons to talk to on this subject. You know what I mean? But you'll have people that will lie to their audience, literally lie to their audience to keep their monetization coming in the form of cash apps and things like that or whatever. So you know it is what it is. You live with it, but I'm glad you do get it. There's a lot of female vloggers right now, particularly I find, that are just going head in first on everything they get about Diddy. This one woman's channel, you know what I'm saying? Who is Latina, entonces sabe mujer, no? Claro que sí. Esa es la mujer dominicana, ¿no? Pero la pero es diferente, pero los negro americano, tú sabes, es diferente, tú sabes, claro, mujer. I know she speaks Spanish. You know what I'm saying? But she's not grito. Yo soy la grito ahí, tú sabes, la cubano, la mareno, el americano. Eso, claro que sí, pero yo tengo la gente, ¿ah? En la empresa en tal mujer, ¿ah? Okay, okay, okay. We got a chick out here pretending like she black and she really Latina. At least I'll tell you what I am. And she's the utmost. I don't know what state she's in yet, but I'm trying to find out what state she's in. Whatever state she's in, she ain't close to New York City tri-state. You know what I'm saying? She talked about going to Vegas, so I'm putting it in that she's somewhere in the Midwest. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of these Midwestern women, women from here, there, whatever, whatever, that have never been to a party in New York in their entire life, have never even traveled to California their whole entire life. And all of a sudden, they are the experts on everything that has to mention with Diddy. How? Outside your Scooby Doo techniques that you do. Like, I don't understand how the folks are so dumb. How about that? Like, let's put aside, okay, yeah, Puff may not be guilty of some of these things or whatever, but all of it, come on, son. You know what I'm saying? And say if this was a woman, say if we got Cher out here, right? Cher, 80 something years old. Do you know Cher's dating a dude that's 27? Do y'all know that? Madonna out here, she is 64 years old with a BBL, and it looks horrible. I love Madonna to death. I swear to God, I've been around Madonna before. It looks horrible. You understand what I'm saying? The surgeon should be taken out and properly dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got too much money to have. Like, listen, I've seen girls that live in the projects have better BBLs than Madonna got, and she had options. She could have went to Brazil. You could have went over here. No, Madonna, that looks bad. Okay, that's not even cheeks. That's like two air pumps or some. It looks horrible. If you get time, go look at it. I'm not going to show it. It looks horrible. Poor Madonna. We love her though. She's still a New Yorker, or Detroit and New York. But my point is, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of these chicks out here that are way too enthusiastic about the money and the potentiality of the money that they're making. And I, in my personal opinion, don't think they give a rat about these girls. I really don't. You love a BBL? I don't like no BBL. I don't like no big. I don't. I don't. I like a girl with a round joint. You know what I'm saying? But like protruding or whatever. I think it's like certain men that like that or whatever. But you got to remember, yo, when fellas see your girl, that's the first thing they're gonna see, and they're gonna categorize her. You understand what I'm saying? Like my ex girl was a nerd. You know what I mean? So people knew this based off the vernacular she had. All right, well, they just had something about don't test her. You know what I mean? But certain other women, you know, if they scantily clad, kind of got an OnlyFans vibe to them or whatever, whatever, your woman is a representation of you. You understand what I'm saying? Like my ex dealt with you at Yale University, if you get what I'm saying. So it's like I don't advocate for men to go get women like that, scantily clad women. What's going on? I don't advocate for men to do that because I think it's a bad idea, especially young men. You end up getting tied up into something you don't want to be dealt with. I recommend to young men that you don't go around. I'm not that much older than you. I'm only in my 40s, but I recommend to young men that you watch the women that you pick. I even the women that you sleep with, and if you bust something in them, you know what I'm saying? Like be prepared because look at her family, look at her upbringing, look and see if she got kids already and what condition they in. You understand what I'm saying? And some of these women that we're talking about, they end up being vloggers. I saw a piece the other day. When was it? Yesterday, I think it was. Oh shit, Duke Jackson. He had on his channel about this chick, and she was a vlogger. She had like four kids, about four different fathers. She had always talked about it or whatever the case may be. I'm in a New York City tri-state, man. Don't ever ask me what my address is, though, B. Um, this chick somehow or another ended up in a homeless shelter with these four kids prior to her vlogging, right? And so, what's the name? They turned around and they said, "Yo, You got to get out the shelter. And she was like, huh? What your 4 kids? Which was also kind of weird because I was like, well, what? You got 4 different baby daddy. Will nobody pick up the kids? So you got to follow patterns here. I'm very big on patterns. You know what I'm saying? Patterns got me through a lot of things and figuring out things. You got 4 kids or 4 different men, and you barely in your 30s. There's a whole bunch of chicks out here like that, bro. Don't trust me when I tell you. Like our dating choices are screwed up out here. And you gotta understand the reason I'm mentioning this because a lot of these girls that are making these accusations, you gotta understand a lot of them on their last leg. A lot of these is DVD champions and goddesses of one time. You know what I'm saying? They was on the cocaine cities. They was in the straight stunt magazine with Peter K. Slay. These girls were in every DVD they had. They was in the King magazine or whatever. A lot of these girls that are making these accusations, that's where they're from. What's that one girl's name? Allie Carter. You know what I'm saying? Say what believe her, or don't believe her. Point is, that's what you was. You was a video girl. You know what I'm saying? And I wish more people would bring this up, especially a lot of the artists. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of these girls, see, when we had these conversations, we're equating them to what's going on right now in the world and the way that the girl, you know what I'm saying? The way the world, let's get this one up out of here. We're evaluating it by what's going on now. You understand what I'm saying? And the rules that are going on now. But I'm telling you, as somebody that was around during them times or whatever, them girls were loose. I'm not saying they deserved anything that happened to them or whatever, but just hear me out. We were in the era when Nelly had Tip Drill out. You understand what I'm saying? It was a BET After Dark. A lot of y'all ain't even old enough to remember that. You know what I'm saying? Or some of y'all weren't even born. There's another value to it. A lot of these girls, they didn't have the compliments of OnlyFans. So you could jump on OnlyFans and make, hundreds of thousands of dollars literally in a night. You understand what I'm saying? These girls had to get off their butt. That's why I'm still like that to this day as a guy. Because the hustle here in New York City tri-state was get off your butt and be in the street. It wasn't, yo, let me just turn on the camera. You understand what I'm saying? And that's sufficient. That ain't sufficient for the people I know. Nah, son, how come you ain't out here with the rest of us, And so then you get that, and then you get another element to it where these girls were willing to do whatever in a lot of occasions for opportunity. And I think it needs to be brought up. Man, listen, man, I didn't watch chicks bust down and dead ass serious. I didn't watch girls leave us to go bust down. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these girls were busting down. And then what happened was the opportunity didn't work out for them. So now they want to sue. Now these chicks is in their 40s, some of them's in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't got nothing to do. If people that know me and know the game, who remember Pebbles the Body? Remember Pebbles the Body? What happened to her? I'm gonna put up a picture of her and I. Last time I saw Pebbles was in Arizona. I seen her in Tempe, Arizona. And Pebbles was one of them girls. She was pretty. Back then, she was like 37, 38 years old. She was an older chick, but she was bad. Just look up Pebbles the Body. You see her now, she look horrible. She got caught up in this thing with this transsexual person, and they were bringing people to a hotel in New York. I don't want to put her out in the bus too much. They were bringing them to a hotel in New York or whatever, and Pebbles was basically like setting it up, and Duke would come up from Atlanta and inject the girls with cement and all kinds of crazy stuff. I think one or two of the girls died, and Pebbles got as an accomplice of that crime, she got like 10, 15 years or something like that. But look up, her name is Pebbles the Body. She come from that time. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this one up out of here. So that's the thing. So a lot of these girls, like, how can I explain it? A lot of these girls, they were built on, reputation, who they were. A lot of people knew who they were before they even got there, like Gloria Velez, who was another one, Buffy the Body. Um, and there's so many to mention, but those were like the glamour girls. Like they had these glamour girls, and then they had all the girls that were up under them trying to be like them. I mean, you had girls that were like 5'4" trying to be models and stuff like that. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what really happened. And so during that time, and a lot of people they're gonna cut off, they're gonna be like, no, 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 no. How do you know you wasn't there? You can't talk about a time what the vibes were if you wasn't there. And you can't equate it. You can't equate 2000 or something to 2024. It doesn't make sense. I'm not talking about no sexual assaults. I'm not talking about none of that. What I'm talking about is we need to start having conversations. And I wish some women, but listen, for you right over there with Joe, you right over there with Queens. You know what I'm saying? Bring it up. Cause you was part of that. I'm not saying she was busting down, but she remember all them girls during them times. And them girls were busting down. It wasn't nothing for one of them girls to go up into a fucking trailer. It wasn't nothing for them to be like, get there 2, 3 days before. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. These girls were busting down. And I believe that girl that they had up there that was willing to lie sent Big Joe a message, sent Big Gene a message, shout out to Big Midwest, and said, yo, if you help me lie, I'll cut you in on the settlement, the blase blind. I won't mention you, right? She was one of them chicks from that period. I'm not digressing anything may have happened to her or whatever, whatever. But what I'm saying is, outside that incident, if you were to question her and ask, okay, well, who else you been with? Who else you mess with? Because the same way it is now, y'all see it where y'all see guys that be dating one chick or whatever, whatever, then somebody else will start dating. Like take Amber Rose, for example, right? How many before we got into this period that we in right now, look at the shit that Amber Rose was doing. And I'm not trying to be funny, but just look at what she was doing. She went from Kanye, then she bounced to who was it, Wiz. Then she bounced over here to another dude. Then she had the slut walk. Then she bounced back over here to this rapper, this basketball player. What's the other chick's name? Brittany Renner. She was doing the same. These are the grandkids and nieces of the old thoughts from 2002. What part don't y'all get? They doing the same thing the thoughts were doing back then. You would see some of these thoughts. They would be now. Y'all want to know? I'm gonna tell y'all. Because all these girls, listen, I understand if any girl got sexually assaulted or whatever unjustifiably, and you don't work into this conversation. But what I'm telling you is a lot of these girls were busting down. Okay. If you was not there, just like Fab said, you had to be there. You wasn't there. That's why when I hear these people and they taking all these donations for regurgitating material versus us that were really around here in the New York City tri-state, how y'all got somebody in freaking the Midwest telling y'all what happened in New York City tri-state and donating to them and supporting them for regurgitating what they saw on Long Crime Network? It's amazing to me. These girls used to burn. I'm telling you from a first-hand experience. We used to go to Miami, Memorial Day weekend, LA, Arizona, all these different places, right? And when we go there, what I started noticing about the second and third year was it was the same girls. It was just, I dead serious. It was the same girls. The girls, it would be the same girls that would be down in Miami. You would see them early a day or two because most of the time we'd get there before the event happened or whatever. And so we would like see the same girls, like literally. Like if you didn't see all the same girls, you saw damn near 70% of them. And anybody that was moving around at that time from Rock, ask Choke No Joke. Ask him. We ain't talked. Ask him. Go ask Choke No Joke. Go ask Doggy Diamonds. Go ask these people. They're gonna take. Go ask Star. They're gonna tell you the same thing. They're gonna tell you, yo, these girls, it wasn't nothing to see these chicks because they was trying to get chosen, trying to get a pocket. And we got to talk about that. We're not talking about the fact that girls are still out here openly prostituting themselves right now on OnlyFans. And that old chick is saying nothing. There's no advocacy groups online right now saying, hey, we need to stop these young girls from getting online. Want an example? There is a guy right now that's an OnlyFans guy, all right? And he does, I mean, basically it's porn. That's what they're doing on there. And so the dude, he contacted Herpes Simplex, whatever version, and he subsequently went to go film with this black girl, young black girl. She's 19 years old. 19. All right. Ain't none of these female bloggers said a word about this shit. Just like they ain't say nothing about Miss Wanda Smith, which still has me upset. That's why I tell you, pay attention to the cloud chasers versus the people, the women on here that got actual advocacy. Because a lot of these chicks right now know a thought right now that live next door to them, and they won't call them out, even if they came to their house with a handful of pitchforks and tiki torches. You understand what I'm saying here? They wouldn't call them out because the sisterhood won't allow it. But you ain't gonna tell me what I saw with my own two eyes. What I saw with my own two eyes was year after year. After the second or third year, I started noticing it was dot at the same locations. I wonder if LeBron out here this weekend. I wonder if Pharrell out here this weekend. I wonder if Rick Ross out here this weekend. Has anybody seen possibly Jada kissing them? I want to give my run. You understand what I'm saying here? A lot of these chicks, before the OnlyFans or whatever, they ain't have that option. They ain't have the option to be like, hey, yo, screw this dude. I'm going to go over here and do this OnlyFans account. I ain't got to mess with nobody. No, they had to bust down. That's what they were offering. That's what they were. I'm gonna say it one more time to you. That's what they were voluntarily offering. Now, did some of these girls get into situations of pickles along the way? I'm sure they did. Was it particularly with Puff? I don't know. Was it particularly with any other rapper? I don't know. You know why I'm not going to say that? Because unlike Jason Lee, I ain't going to go on here and bite the same hand that fed him, you punk. I still don't like that guy. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm glad the 7 people that just lulled out, go run and tell them, I don't like you. I don't like you at all, sir. You understand what I'm saying? And you better watch yourself there. Watch yourself. I don't like that kid. I don't like that kid at all. Not because what he said about Jay-Z, not because, no. Let me tell you why I don't like him. You can still go on this page. I did 2 videos about him. I did one about 2 years ago. It wasn't about his sexuality, wasn't about nothing. I said, this guy's a snake. Can't nobody see that? And I say it in the video. The video's about like an hour long. I said, this guy's a snake. And you know why I called him out? Like I said, wasn't his sexuality. You know what gave him away? He was trying to play this role, and I've seen people play that with it. Like, that's why I never trust anybody that comes to my chat room and acts too nice and start writing too many comments or whatever. Because we know in New York Tri-State there's one thing. Watch people that are too overly nice for no reason whatsoever. So this guy, he's from California. He was too overly nice to the stars that he was, crouching behind. He got behind Rihanna. He's the one that in my personal opinion, helped Wendy Williams correlate that story that she was dating and married. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, it was crazy because I was just like, yo, Jason Lee, when you went on Piers Morgan and when you went on this other places, and I forgot what that other podcast is, and his own podcast as well, screaming names, talk about this person might have did this or whatever. It sounded like to me, like the whole time you came around in the first place to grab intel from people, which later you could use. And I think you grab this pattern not necessarily from Jaguar Wright, but from observing Jaguar Wright. And there's been a lot of Jaguar Wright doppelgangers. The only difference is me and Jaguar Wright actually have had the experience already. That was the help. You understand what I'm saying? Me and Jaguar, well, I was the help for a minute, but my point is, I was also an artist. I also did MTV and a couple other things. My point is, Jason Lee, you understand what I'm saying? Jason Lee, from my observation, is a snake. And that's my personal opinion. That doesn't mean y'all have to drive along to it. I'm not trying to persuade y'all how y'all feel about him. This is my personal opinion. I think he's a snake. And I said it 2 years ago, and here it is panning out. Why would you go on a publication that has mostly white subscribers, which none of y'all evidently was aware of? You understand what I'm saying? What would you think? Piers Morgan pulls in the urban crowd. That's what you thought. You thought Piers Morgan's base is an urban crowd. You really thought that. See, this is why I try to tell people. Let me tell you, if you're African American, or if you're white listening, or if you're Latino and you're listening, listen to me very well, okay? I grew up most of my entire adult, I'm going to say from my late teens to my adult years in Connecticut, right? Listen to what I'm telling you. There are a lot of Italians and Greeks and Jewish people out in this area. You know what I'm saying? Where I live at now is especially even more. You understand what I'm saying? You grab up some of I guess, their caricatures and things like that for being around them. I've been around real Italians, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like that and this other influences or whatever, you become who your personality is or whatever the case may be, right? You get what I'm saying here? You get certain individuals that get on here and they talk about how white people are, oh, white people this, white people that, white people this. But at the same time, how could you give a perfect example when in reality, the whole time of your life, you lived in an urban background? You understand what I'm saying? So when you now and you circled yourself around mostly urban individuals your whole entire life. And so when I get somebody that's, and I'm not trying to say from the hip hop community or anything like that, but didn't have the same experience I did, I always raise an eyebrow at them when I say this. When they'll say, well, white people this and white people that and white people this. And I'll be like, how did you know? You live in an urban environment. You've always lived in an urban environment. Your mama raised you up, your single mom raised you up over 20K. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But let's not get delusional. There is not a preponderance of white folks living in the housing project. Even though I do know some. One of my homegirls, she lived in the projects. You know what I'm saying? One of the craziest Irish chicks I know to this day. Irish and Italian. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Missy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sally. You know what I mean? Like, these are people that are first generation Italians or second generation Italians in some cases. So I don't, for me, being around these people all my entire life and being influenced by them in some degree, we're influenced by whoever we're around. You know what I mean? You guys have got to start coming in reality. Look out your door right now, or look at your rental history. If your rental history or mortgage history is condensant of neighborhoods that have always been in urban areas, it's not to put you down. This is reality. This is where you got to be at. You understand? We're talking about all this woke stuff that, for some way, reason or another, African Americans, poor whites, and Latinos have clutched onto, right? The director, in my personal opinion, the directors of the Democratic Party, who wants to be the Democratic Republic. The Communist Democratic Republic. But that's just me. All right. That's just me. How about this? The Communist Marxist Democratic Republic. Because that's what they're trying to make it into. That's what the woke movement was. It was an issue of directives. And you guys didn't even get it. It prior to this woke thing being brought out, and I'm not trying to say there's not some good tenets of it, but just pay attention. Prior to this woke thing going about or whatever, you saw less protests, you saw less people being violent, you saw less people being passive aggressive, trying to get you to acknowledge their points or views or advocacies without violence. You had more people that were willing to sit down and have a conversation or whatever. If you have a conversation with somebody that's in that woke mindset nowadays, you're lucky if you could get them to listen to 15 seconds of what you're saying without cutting you off. And they'll always have this trope behind their voice. Well, I feel like, watch for that one. I feel like anytime you hear somebody start the conversation, I feel like automatically just disrupt the whole shit because it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. Trust me when I tell you this, it's not going to go anywhere. So when I say that comment to y'all, I don't say that comment to insult the black community, Latin community, or even poor whites, because poor whites don't even have the same experience. I'll give you a perfect example. If anybody lived down the area I lived at, who remember the freaking trailer parks out there in Waterford? Case closed. You understand what I'm saying? Who remember the truck? Who remembers the trailer homes up there in Ockham? Who remembers Pequannock Road? You understand what I'm saying? Now I'm not trying to be funny, but what I'm doing is I'm pointing out an obvious to you. If you haven't grown, and prior to that, being in Connecticut, I had the same experience. I never lived poor. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not embarrassed about that. My people was busted their butt to make sure we ended up at the last place I lived at. I lived with my mother before I moved down on, well, last place she lived at before I stayed with her and then was going to Florida. Then I came back from Florida and came back up to the Northeast. So let me make sure I've said clear with that. The last place that I lived with my mother when I stayed when we came back from Florida, the place was equipped with both bedrooms, had bathrooms inside of them. There was a Olympic sized pool, sauna, tennis courts. There was a golf course built around it. These were corporate places, you know what I'm saying? So it's like and it was a long, huge driveway to get to it. And that you had to go up a hill or whatever. They were beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And like as soon as you get up top of the hill, there's a gate thing. You got to show your pass. And like this is what it was. And so I don't take no advantage. I don't take no shame in that because all my uncles on it, they was crazy as fuck. Like they came back from the surface. I got people from Philly, Jersey, Queens. You know what I mean? And so my family, there's some crazy individuals in my family, like nuts. You know what I mean? Especially coming back from the service or whatever. But later on, I started hanging in the projects. I always came up under G's. So even when I was young, I was hanging in the projects or whatever. But I would go back home to the burbs. I really would. You know what I mean? And so, and to this day, I guess it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's embedded in me. I go do what I do in New York and, come back home to the burbs, No disrespect. You like the dude who went viral for saying, I be killing ninjas? I don't know, but Amber, I think you really, really should take a look at yourself in the mirror because you actually are contestant with what the conversation is. You know what? I'm not even gonna block you. I'm gonna teach you something, baby girl, because what you don't understand, and this is why I gotta understand too when I'm talking to these ladies. Ladies, y'all think everybody is like your homegirl next door. You think everybody is like your auntie that's sitting in the kitchen right now. You think everybody's like your grandmother, whatever, whatever. No, ladies, even for you, because I see other women attacking other women. You understand what I'm saying online? These girls that you have right now are the offsprings of all the chicks. And I'm talking to you older ladies too. This is the offspring of the chicks that were 12, 13, 14 years old, and auntie, grandmama, and them, or whatever, whatever, looked after these kids. You understand what I'm saying? Amidst, and if it was the boys, amidst a whole bunch of girls. You understand what I'm saying? Amongst a whole bunch of girls. You understand? So, ladies, listen to me very carefully. A lot of the men that y'all are complaining about that are being produced, especially black women and Latin women, keep in mind at a 70% margin here in the United States, and this is by the CDC. So I don't want no arguments. I don't give a crap about your opinion. We go by the demographics of the state here. At a 70% rate of y'all raising these boys, it's clear to say, as a conclusion, in any mathematical conclusion, that these men that you're complaining about were reared by another woman. Is that fair? Another woman that looked just like you, but didn't have the same attributes as you. And that's why you ladies get it confused. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Black women, please listen to me for a second. Take out whatever personal. I'm really trying to help you here because underneath it all, I love you, Scott. But I'm going to call you when you're messing up. Elijah Muhammad at one time, he called y'all when y'all were messing up. You understand what I'm saying? Minister Farrakhan, he didn't call y'all out when y'all were messing up. But because y'all hear it in a different octave from moi, y'all take it a different way. No, no, it still means the same thing. I'm not Italian. You understand what I'm saying? Well, depending on what spectrum you're looking for. But I'm not Italian by appearance. You see what I'm saying here? I'm not Greek by appearance or anything like that. So when it comes down to at the end of the day, even though we have the similarities with them, I have the similarities with them because this is my growing up environment. At the same time, you gotta know when to distance yourself. You understand what I'm saying? When it's a betterment to you. See, there's too much of you girls trying to fit in. And a lot of it comes from growing up watching, playing with baby dolls and, My Little Pony and a lot of you other girls, whatever, continuations of that or whatever, whether it was the Rugrats, whatever you was watching, that influenced a lot of you girls to be the most greedy, belligerent, and more importantly, because of I think a lack of a lot of the fathers, you have a disdain for your own men. Whether you recognize it or don't recognize it, it's pure in your post. I've watched a woman consecutively for a week now because she's getting views. I watched this chick who was otherwise pretty show her heart of hearts of who she really is. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, I can imagine her if I got it messed up with her. She would start a whole podcast like that about me. Not only does she do that, she would use the same manipulation tactics that she uses in her broadcast and complete with lies because you've lied a couple times now, just like Granny Panties. Granny Panties, stay lying. Granny Panties even got picked up by another one of her viewers that said the same thing in her chat room. This woman's lying. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not making nothing up. I don't make up stuff on people. I don't do that. It's trash. That ain't what I come from. That ain't gangster to me. My people wouldn't respect that. I didn't mean to make you upset. There we go with that one. Upset. What makes you upset, Amber? What makes you think I'm upset? Did anybody take in that I was upset right then? Did anybody? But you notice that Amber, the first thing she did was, and it was really, to be quite honest with you, it was really a taunting measure. This is what I'm saying. These girls, they do this now, and it's unbeknownst to them what they're doing. So the same way as like the vloggers are doing what they doing, Amber just did the same thing because she doesn't understand that not only do you have woke agenda programmed into you, but you also have a misandrous plug plugged into you. You also, believe it or not, have a secret lesbian plug that's behind all that. Yes, that's what I said. I think the ultimate goal of this whole woke movement and the whole ultimate goal of making black women not like black men, and Latin men not like, excuse me, Latin women and men not like each other. Did you not know the Latin population is the most integrated population right now? Most of them seem to be going towards white or black American, either of the two. You don't believe me? Go look it up in the CDC. So I don't have time to argue with people. But what I see, particularly out of black American women online that are talking about this Diddy issue, is they are quick to badger, and they're only doing it in the badgerment of the sisterhood or feminism or misandry, whatever ones you pick, whatever one. Each one's got a different line. But I noticed that, and it seems like the hatred towards their own man is more deafening and more extreme than it ever was to a Harvey Weinstein, than it ever was to a Epstein. And he was messing with kids, and it was confirmed. You have tapes that right now you can go look at a Harvey Weinstein, even though a lot of them been removed. That's what I was telling the brother when I was interviewing. A lot of them have been removed, but a lot of them was still there. And when I mentioned it to him down at the Diddy arraignment, he was able to put out what he was saying, and he said it the same way. He didn't even like Puff. I heard no anger in your voice. Amber's reaching, though. She's about to get what she's looking for, knowledge. Yeah, I mean, when you get girls that do stuff like that or whatever the case may be, you got to always understand that it's from a different place, Carrington. It's from a place where you have women that are so embedded within this woke agenda that the only thing they can do is they have a separate aggression. Like they'll have aggression if a white man does something to them, they'll have aggression and then it'll subside quickly. You understand what I'm saying? They be ready. It's okay, you sorry. And I would say, like a lot of people of color as a whole, they kind of hold that rebarb. It's okay when they do it to you, but it's not okay when your own do it to you. Or you know what I'm saying? So a lot of these girls, in my personal opinion, in African American culture, I think a lot of them, and I'm half African American, so I can say this. I think a lot of them, like Amber, have this chip on their shoulder that's not going to work for you because see, the end goal is to depopulate you as a population. They've been doing it for the past 40 years. The first time they introduced it was with the Great Society programs. They gave the incentive, this was in 1968. They gave the incentive that if you don't have a man in the house or whatever the case may be, you'll be rewarded greater. You understand what I'm saying? That was the first phase. Second phase came in, and I say late 70s, early 80s with the abortion thing. That was the second phase of the plan. This is a 40-year plan. You don't get it. If you don't know history, he said one time, Richard Nixon, I'm going to keep these niggas voting Democrat for the next 40 years, and they ain't going to never realize it's against them. I'm adding that against them to the point, but it really was that effort. Nixon was a racist. It's known. You know what I'm saying? He's been recorded being a racist. You know what I'm saying? Calling people niggas or whatever. Then he go meet with Martin Luther King. You don't believe me? Go look it up for yourself. So the audio's there. It's one particularly on YouTube. You can go look at it right now. So with the Great Society programs, with the abortion interest being pushed by Planned Parenthood and all that stuff, in my opinion, in the hood, I've lived in the suburbs my whole entire life, except for maybe 2 or 3 stints. You understand what I'm saying? Not because I'm scared. That's obvious. Nah, because I like living in nice places. You don't like it? You go live in the slums. I don't care. It's your business. But my point is, and I don't mean that to insult anybody. I mean, like, as you're an adult, you got a choice where you want to live at, right? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want better? I'm going to stay in the project for the rest of my life. That sounds stupid to me. I don't be in the project hallway talking about how I be in the projects all day. That sounds stupid to me. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Some people, they don't graduate from that. I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? I've always lived a certain type of way, and I'm always going to continue to do that. You know what I mean? As much as it's in my capability. Um, Never mistake where somebody is from as a measure of where their heart is. You understand what I'm saying? Or what they will do. Fat Joe has a story. He came to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he thought shit was soft. He from the X, whatever. They ran Fat Joe and Big Pun up out of there on Connecticut. I would say to you one more time, if you don't believe me, go right over there to Vlog TV. It'll be over there. Calvin Klein. Who else? DMX. Trying to think who else. Hell Rel. All them people came through the town I used to be in. Jay, he had some involvement with Connecticut for a while. 50, of course, I knew he had the house out here, which they now turned into a nursing home. It was so big. 50 was paying 12 grand a month to keep them maintain that crib. Not too far from here. It's a driving distance. I'm trying to think who else. I mean, like people trying to like exit Connecticut off as a state, but we had a lot out here. The Gambino crime family was here for years. You don't believe me? Go over to Bar TV right now. You see a nice little interview over there. Yeah, sometimes certain things got to be put out to prove a point. But yeah, the Gambino crime family, a fraction of them were here in Connecticut, and coincidentally, in my section and also in other sections of Connecticut. So yeah, make no mistake about Connecticut, it ain't soft here. You go up to New Haven, you go up to the Heartbeat, especially the Heartbeat. Shout out to Hartford. Go out to NL, go out to Norwich, go out to Beeport. I mentioned them. Go out to Wales. What else I want to say? Dirty Water, Waterbury, Weathersfield get down. New Britain get down, Willimantic get down. You will find yourself with a deep problem. And then after you leave all the urban zones, you got to deal with all the crazy Italians and Irish and Greeks. You're going to lose your cubby, I'm trying to tell you. And this is not like New York where they have the same gun laws. Although this is, I tell people all the time, you can look this up. The Colt gun manufacturer, they were the first manufacturers of guns in the United States. They used to be in New Haven, Connecticut since the 1800s. If you Remington was also here. To this day, we still have Mossberg shotguns. We're one of the states that has the outside of Texas, one of the most amounts of shooting ranges in the whole entire country. You know what I mean? Like the literally the gun itself was invented in this state. So yeah, it's very different from New York. That's why I choose to stay here. New York, oh God, you get caught with two bullets, they sending you away for years if you got that address. Jesus love you and want a relationship with you. Yeah, I hear you. Ocho Cinco. Yeah. Have you ever wondered how many times you could twist your no, I haven't, but have you ever wondered as a boy why you're in here saying that to another man? Let me see something real quick. Because I never get off on dudes like that. Yep, just like I thought. Been on here for 3 years and got 15 subscribers. And got material on your page. Let's get them out. If y'all see anybody that's writing something like that, they're useless, get them up out of here. I don't mind the DMX and what's the name. So yeah, I think a lot of black women, just to pick it up, especially a lot of these vloggers, I think a lot of them are under a spell, a witching spell. And I told y'all it's the time of the witch right now, so it makes sense. A lot of people, I mean, y'all don't tell them too much. I'll tell y'all two things. There was a comet that passed by, and there was a certain transition in the moon that happened. That's why it got cold very quickly. I told people this the day it happened. They didn't believe me. I know these things. Yo soy la cubano ahí, en espíritu, en la Jesús, entonces sabe, San Cristo. So, entonces sabe, este es el richo. ¿Ah? Claro, por la gente latino, ese es el richo, Shango. Entonces sabe, claro. So, what en la mente, entonces, ¿sabes? Pero espiritual. Yo no tengo unos shango, yo no tengo rishu, yo no tengo ¿cómo dice en español? ¿Cómo dice? Espiritual, pero la gente dominicana, la gente la cubano, no shango, tú sabes. Diablo. Para un momento, para un momento. I'll think of it in a second, but long story short, Santaria, tú sabes, ¿no? Santaria, Vadu. Entonces, ¿verdad? Todo el espíritu. El espíritu, pero Jesús, pero la blanco. Entonces tienes diferente, pero la negro. Entonces, ¿sabes? No negro la gente, la negro la noche. la luna. La luna. No bueno. May 13, 1941. Hitler had a kettle passed as a directive giving authority to the military to execute its citizens in areas of operation. Such opportunity has just been given to the United States, and you are exactly right, sir. I just saw who was it that was talking about this, and he's actually a U.S. senator. If any of y'all don't know, while we was busy talking about Puff, the United States government actually gave clearance to the United States military to actually assault its own citizens. This was based off the fact, I think, to tort mass shootings. I also think it was and put in directive to stop people that potentially might start mass shootings. I think it was potentially put in place for people doing January the 6th. Do I think it is a bad choice? As long as it's amended or it's less space for it to be amended later, no, I don't think it's a bad choice at all. I think if somebody stands in the what was that that hotel out there in Vegas? A lot of people forget that story. That was one of the biggest tragedies that got swept under the rug in the United States for a minute, and I do believe it was because a white man was attached. I don't care what anybody says, because that was far worse than what they're accusing Puff of doing, where that man climbed up to the Madeline Bay Hotel. And I'm gonna show you how Connecticut falls back into this again. The Comstock that he ordered, which made that gun from semi-automatic to automatic, he ordered right here in Connecticut. As a result of that, after the tragedy, yes, you heard me right. I just told you this was a gun state. As a result, after, feel free to look it up for yourself. Uh, sure. Anyway, long story short, as a result, Senator Blumenthal here in Connecticut, what he did was he outlawed comp stocks. And if you look that up, you'll see that they were outlawed. You understand what I'm saying? At least in this state. So what you have is what you have is because it's hard to explain it. What you have is with that directive being given and proposed and proposally a bill being passed, which now allows American citizens to be shot, even if you're, if you, I agree with that. I think if you, I mean, it might surprise some of y'all or whatever, but y'all be surprised. I'm in New York City all the time. There are some crazy people out there. Sometimes you think, hey, I mean, people pushing people off of subway platforms. It's a different environment. That's when I talk to a lot of people here online, I'd be like, how do you know what our reality is? You live in the Midwest. If you live in the Midwest, you have no idea, unless you live in Chicago. Unless you live in Chicago, that's the only place I could think of that's even kind of similar. But unless you live in a major city, you have no reason to be talking about major city issues, no more than I have a right to be talking about, what's going to hold up the local pumpkin fest this year, or the local Christmas parade in Puckahook, Nebraska, or something. You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't make no sense. And so when I see these crowds going over, they like, oh my God, what information do you have now? They're really pretending. Like a lot of these people, they'll go to these podcasts, they already know what the people are going to be talking about, but they'll pretend like they're a subscriber and a real in-depth person. And the reason they pretend to go along with these podcasts is a lot of times, especially the female podcasters, the men, they do it just to simp out. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, the latency of simping is at a high morale nowadays, don't you know? Oh man, the level of simping comes from single parenthood, if now you all don't know. It really does. See, when you get a man, and let me break this down for you. This is why you see a lot of men online nowadays, right now, and they're joining in on the force with the women and being like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take my jacket off, y'all. Give me a second, because this motherfucker is hot. You see a lot of men involved in the simping and joining into these conversations with the ladies or whatever. I find more so the most vicious ones seem to be the men that are attached to the LBGTQ. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You understand what I'm saying? They seem to be almost more vicious than the women. Oh, he did it. He did it. I got to say like this. Why out of everybody you worried about women? You don't even like chicks. I'm just being respectful. If you don't like chicks, right? How you an advocate and you don't even like who the advocacy is behind? Is that fair? And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being real. Like if you like, I just don't find it. I find it weird. You know what I'm saying? That like, and I'm talking about dudes that are like flamboyant with this. You know what I'm talking about? Hey girl, period to the period of them type motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't like I got something against people like that. You think I don't like a homeboy with the crown in his head because yeah, he never heard me call him out. I didn't call him a lot of things. I called him a punk. I called him a sucker. You notice I ain't never called him out his name. I ain't never called him out his name. I ain't never even said anything attached to him like that. I ain't never made up nothing with that on that dude with the crown on his head. Even though him and his people's dead, I didn't do that because I ain't a sucker. And to this day, I won't make up nothing on him. You know what I'm saying? Even pork chop. somebody tried to get me to. I'm pretty sure that's what they were trying to do. They was trying to get me involved in going in on him. I did a little light joint, you know what I'm saying? I shot a shot back at him, but I said, nah, I ain't gonna be going in on the nigga auntie and all that, because I know what I do to him in the end. You know, so I didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to start that because that's a bad fire to start. So I let Pork Chop alone. If you know who Pork Chop is, you know who he is. If you don't, you don't. You ain't getting no promo over here. If you know the dude with the crown on his head, you know him, you know. Point is, I never made anything up on him. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these female bloggers and male bloggers from the LBGTQ, um, I noticed they don't do the same. Or they'll make up something on you. I've now taken probably well over 80 to 90 screenshots in the past 3 days. Past 3 days. Just listening to people's lives and things like that, or whatever, whatever. And then I'll fall back to the page and be like, what this person talking about? What they about? You always find they usually unaccomplished when it comes to the links of YouTube. They're paddling along whatever the YouTube host is saying because of pure simple fact they're hoping that them sitting there and commenting in the comment section will somehow propel them into stardom or whatever. I'm here to tell you that ain't how it works. Oh no, you got to work on here. A lot of these people on here, they want to be big stars here on YouTube or whatever, whatever, but don't want to put in the work. Don't want to put in the work. And then the people that do put in the work, they want to be the ones that sit around and make fun of them and talk about them or whatever, whatever. And I just find that it's very disrespectful from the subscribers. See, for me, I made it a thing. I think it was about 3 years ago. I used to talk to my subscribers. I'm doing this. This is not gonna be a short live, so don't worry about it. If you got the patience, you got the patience. If you don't, you don't. I figured I'd take tonight because I said tonight is the best night to do this because I ain't doing nothing, whatever, whatever. Set the hour mark. Always promote myself, guys. Make sure y'all hit that cash app $ STRINGERBELL80. I need support just like everybody else. So make sure y'all hit that cash app. My name is Davin Lewis. Once again, I am previously a Bad Boy Entertainment. I make no qualms about that. That is what I do for them 3 people that just logged off because a man of color just said his cash app, but you don't do that with your own favorite blogger. You, my friend, are not welcome back here again. I have to start doing more of that. If you can't support my channel or whatever, with the amount of followers I have, and somebody told me this the other night. I just gotta say this, and I'm gonna keep on going with the conversation because I don't beg nobody for nothing. I have witnessed now how people have favorites on here and how people can be easily led on here. And so I make sure to avoid that. And about 2 or 3 years back, I had to start phasing out that thing of being friendly with and make sure y'all hit that like button too. I appreciate that. Thanks for hitting that like button. It's over what, almost 70 people in here. Y'all hit the like button. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all support the channel. One thing I had to do a couple years ago, which a lot of other vloggers don't do, and I guess maybe that's why they get support. I never gave my subscribers any little clinches like, oh, this is the so and so's, or I'm the vlogger and this is my, my followers, and giving them a little clinch thing. I never did that because I just thought it was corny and I thought it was real high schoolish. The second thing I didn't do was I didn't try to get personal per se with my subscribers, except for a handful. There was a handful of people that would always come back, and to this day, it's the same way. It's a handful of people that would come back, they rap with me, they mess with me, whatever, and they deal with me or whatever, whatever. But what I used to have on here, and I gotta say this, and it was especially a lot of the want to be black female vloggers and a lot of men that wanted to be vloggers too, but it was more women. I when I first got on here, it was during the pandemic, right? Like a lot of us did. And what made me unique was I had a story actually. I'm not gonna tell you what that story was, but I had a story, and it was about the music industry or whatever the case may be. And it very quickly propelled me. And one of the things, and what I'm talking about is within 2 to 3 days, I was able to, I don't even think it was 2 days. I think it was like a day and a half. I was able to live stream. Yeah, so what I'm saying, like, I'm one of the very few people that got such a quick, start like that. But literally, I was able to live stream within a day, day and a half. You know what I'm saying? So I told my story, I got live or whatever. And what I started noticing at first, because I noticed is I take these people, you have to remember these people that are writing in your chat rooms or you're conversating with, these are real people. You know what I'm saying? They're not androids, they're not robots, these are real people. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm sitting here and I'm listening to some of these particular people that are writing in my chat at the time, and many of them are against me. They're like, yo, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be doing this. And this is in the middle of the pandemic in New York City. So what I started learning first, I said, go look at the people that and see where they from, or see if you can get a so what I first did was I started matching their names and things, whatever, if they had a real name. And I would find that like these people were living in the Midwest, down south, places that weren't even affected by the pandemic like it was with us. It was so bad, if you don't know, in New York City at the time, because I was living in the Bronx at the time before I skedaddled back here after a couple months to Connecticut. When it was having the pandemic in New York, there was literally a place called, and if you live in New York, you know what I'm talking about. St. Barnabas had this, and Brooklyn had this. There were so many victims that they were literally putting them in the beds of tractor trailers. Okay? Tractor trailer beds. And if you go look at the archives of the news, you will find this. And they were telling people, don't even come outside if you don't have to. And they had a terminology, I think it was essential worker at the time. If you're not essential worker, don't be out. If you don't have to go to the Worcester, you don't be out. But I had these women on that, just chalk it up, risk your life, go on out there. And I was like, these people don't give a damn about me. They give a damn about white symbolism. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Nobody white here get offended. They care about white symbolism, and white symbolism seems to be the driving force with a lot of African American vloggers and Latin vloggers nowadays. The white folks, listen to me because I need you to carry this back to the community. I grew up amongst you, and I know what I'm talking about here, and I know how these people think. There's a contingency of African Americans, always has been in history, if you ask me, and Caribbean people as well. Now, they did this with the Dutch, the French, the Irish, and everybody else that once upon a time saw over them. There will be certain people on the planet. And if you don't believe me, you can watch movies such as 12 Years a Slave to get an example. Stephen's a perfect example from Django Unchained. You understand what I'm saying? They had a tier system even within the slavery realm, okay? Well, you always had this type that were in the house, and they always, yes, I said in the house. And they would always, and everybody has this caricature that everybody was in the house was somehow another light skin. They weren't. A lot of people that was in the house was darker than mine. But you also see this when you watch the movie Django Unchained. Pay very close attention. All those people wasn't light skinned. No, it was whoever was benevolent looking enough to be in the household stayed in the household. It didn't matter if you was chocolate, black, or whatever. You had to be at least presentable. That is based off DNA, which is a whole nother conversation because there'd be a whole bunch of people out here be bad at other people because of DNA. You know what I'm saying? Within the culture. We're going to talk about that one time too. But anyway, long story short here, but the point I'm trying to get at is you have a lot of African Americans and Latin Americans and people that are just minorities in general that have been so affected by colonism at one point or another, even though a lot of whites don't understand it. There's other African Americans and other minorities and other Latinos that do understand it. They understand it equivalently. If you talk to a lot of Latinos, the first thing they'll tell you is the Spaniard colonialism was the worst thing that ever happened for the people unilaterally. But la gente latino ahí say, hablo algo. You know what I'm talking about. They don't understand that because a lot of them, not to say that they're uncultured, but they haven't been integrated into other cultures. This is the truth. And so what you had then, even on these same plantations, whether they were in Puerto Rico, whether the Dominican Republic, whether they were in America, whether they were in Georgia, whether they were in South Carolina, what y'all not understanding was y'all all equally were dealing with Europeans. They had the same doctrine who shared what y'all call the Willie Lynch letter amongst each other. You had the Dutch, you had the French. Y'all don't understand this because most of you are American raised, and you don't get this, but it was unilaterally Europeans that were taking them from Africa. It was Europeans that were bringing them to the Americas and Canada and dropping them off wherever places. And once that happened, it was the French, the Dutch, the English, and the Irish and the Jewish that were colonizing these people. I have a friend. She's from an island called Suriname. You ever heard of it before? Michelle, if you up in here, shout out to you. Love you, baby. She lives in the Bronx, but she's from this place called Suriname, right? Suriname is spelled, how you spell that shit? Saraname. I think that's how you pronounce it. Spell it. Suriname. Suriname is an island that, believe it or not, is right outside, not too far from Jamaica and Cuba and all that stuff. But anyway, this little small island, um, the colonizers were Dutch and later on Jewish. And so the women and men that are there, they speak almost this German type of language. It's like a Dutch language, but it's in the middle of the Caribbean. Nobody else speaks this down there. Trust me when I tell you this, but them. and they got it from the Dutch. And so they'll speak in like almost like a generic German type of accent and German type of language point, and you will not get it. Trust me when I tell you this, because it's even like a patois of Dutch and German, and Dutch is only it's like almost like a patois of German. You understand what I'm saying? So it's hard to define these otherwise, I guess you would call them Slavic languages. I think German is a Slavic language, it's considered a Slavic language. I'm pretty sure of it. It's not considered Latin. But since you have these languages like that or whatever, you have these language barriers because of the influence of Europeans. Well, here in 2024, we still have that same influence livid. You have a lot of these women that are joining sides what normally you would be considered even 5 years ago with Freddie Gray or God bless the brother George Floyd or whatever. This a couple years ago, these women would have been like, "Oh no, they trying to get the brother," and there's something happened overnight. And I hate to say it, I think it was the Biden administration. The Biden administration was a continuing, as I said earlier, of a directive that is inclusive of depopulation within Black and Latin culture. Because they'll start doing the same thing with Latinos in a minute. Oh, don't you worry, you'll get your turn too. We'll get our turn. Um, but you'll start to see it. You'll start to see it slowly. Once Latinos start settling in the next 5 or 10 years, the ones that they let stay here, because it's going to be a mass deportation effort. Trust me. But the ones they allow to stay here, once they start getting more and more into the what's the name, and they start getting more and more, start recognizing how Latin culture is, because entonces sabe la gente latino, yo queremos bebé. Yo siempre quiero un bebé porque ellos tienen un grande bicho ahí, se para un negro, toma, toma mujer, entonces sabes, toma por una noche, 2 noches, ya tú sabes, pero, pero le tora a ellos. Y la chocha bien. That's awesome. But it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And so Latin people, we like, Black people like to school, like to have a lot of kids. Black women, black men, they like to school, like to have a lot of kids, right? If you get too many of these people and they're integrating with white society, and white society is decreasing, not because they're decreasing because of the reasons you think overpopulation. No, no, no. They're decreasing because their women under their doctrine of feminism and sandry, which is the genesis of it, the women's suffrage movement started by Susan B. Handy and Amelia Earhart there. Those two right there are the blueprint for white women in this country or whatever. That's why I try to tell you it makes no sense. They are laughing at you at the ferocity that you have to take down one of your own men. And it's showing the world right now that, hey, one, even your sons now will be pointed as sexual abusers. For all you women that got sons or your vloggers, and you're like, and the puff this and the puff that, and he did this. I get that you're doing the report. I don't even want to stop a lot of it. But my point is, for all you women that are doing that or whatever, remember you got a son. Remember you got a nephew. Remember you got a father. And based on the history of this country, it's a possibility that your son or your nephew, there's been a lot of guys that have been sent to prison or whatever. Here in Connecticut, we've had probably, the what do you call that thing? The advocacy for the lawyers and everything like that, justice, whatever it is. They're based at Quinnipiac University, which is also here in Connecticut, right outside of West Haven. Anybody that's here, y'all know what I'm talking about. And they also have an opposite one at Yale Law School. But with that being said, you have these folks that have been in jail 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years or whatever, because they were falsely accused and put there. There's a story about this little black boy back in 19, I think it was 18 or something like that. He was the youngest person ever in this country executed. He was 14 years old. Come to find out, the charge was wrong. Emmett Till. Emmett Till was accused of whistling at a white woman that got beat up and killed, and his body was later recovered. Many of y'all know this story. You understand what I'm saying? But at that time, it was white women. What it's starting to look like to a lot of men of color, and I have to be honest with you and put it this way to you, ladies, it looks like you may be more of a threat than any white woman could be. I don't see white women in full veracity doing these blogs about Puff. Those same white women that are doing blogs about Puff, though, I didn't see a veracity, and I've pointed this out to several white female bloggers now. Yeah, I wrote that shit in your chat. I hope you're here. especially one the other night. She was just acting like this woman lived in Utah and had the nerve to be talking about show business. I was like, lady, you really need to go sit down. That's just like that old lady Granny Panties that live out there in Vegas. It's Granny Panties, you don't go nowhere. Stop it. When last time you went to a club? When last time you was wearing the Playboy bunny dress? She dresses like a Playboy bunny, in my opinion. Ain't no reason why no man's wife should be dressing like that every night. And now she's trying to act even more cute, and she didn't put the camera at an angle where it's now superimposed on her. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's playing her own husband. It's terrible. But anyway, listen, homie, I know how to tell you this. What's your name? Sherry, whatever. Listen, homie, anytime your girl, your broad, get on camera all the time and she make an announcement, do you think I need to put on some mascara, some eyeliner? Da, 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 da. First of all, if you ask your husband if you need to do that to get on camera, first thing you should have said was, nah, you don't need to do none of that. Just get on camera, mom. Just get on camera. Shh. You know what I mean? That's what you should have told him, but some men ain't got balls enough to do that. He's scared of losing her. Why you scared of losing her for? She ain't even that hot. I guess she hot from Vegas, or maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But Granny Panties is not hot. So I don't know why you got the camera superimposed on you or whatever. It's Granny Panties. Cut it out. Cut it out. And she always, I've never seen a 63, 64-year-old woman so bent on trying to look sexy for the camera, and you got two sons and a husband. You know what I'm saying? So which one of them three out of your two sons and a husband are telling you, yeah, mom, jump on camera with your tetas hanging out every night? That's the perfect example of being a pristine woman as our elders. Like, come on, man. I don't know one dude that will promote and all that. Oh, he's confident. No, she looking for choices. Any woman that get up on camera like that, I don't care what nobody say. Any woman at that age that get up on camera like that, scantily clad, because that's what it is. If you wear them little tight dresses, trying to look like she dressed like a Playboy bunny. I ain't trying to diss her. I'm telling you what I see. And them same dresses she got on, auntie got on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna call you granny on this one. I'm gonna call you old auntie, great auntie. Them dresses great auntie got on, they're reminiscent of Playboy cocktail waitress dresses. And anybody that's old enough to know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. Take a look at her. She always got that same palette too, blue. If that motherfucking, I'm trying to tell you, it was some red and blue outfits that them Playboy bunnies wore. Y'all think I'm lying, right? And they wore the black and white one. But the cocktail waitresses, I'm just asking, was you used to be a cocktail waitress over there with Hugh Hefner or something? I'm just asking a question because you live in the vicinity of California. It's a possibility. I'm just asking, was Granny Panties actually part of Hugh Hefner's staff at one time? That's all I'm asking. I just say yes or no. I ain't accusing you or nothing, but I'm just saying, Granny Panties be looking like a cocktail waitress over at the Bunny Hop Club. That's all I'm saying. And the area you in Vegas, prostitution is legal out there. I'm just saying, am I lying? You kind of look like one of the brothel. You don't look like one of the brothel girls because you too old for that, but you look like one of the madams that like ran a brothel. You understand what I'm saying? Like if like I'm gonna say it like this: if I heard tomorrow you was caught up in a conspiracy about a brothel, I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you are, but I wouldn't be surprised, Granny Panties. It's something about you. Just I don't know. It just don't strike me right. And how you 63? You still out here lying? Even when you get somebody in your chat that's outside me that say, yo, this woman is lying, they literally wrote that, and I'm gonna show y'all. Somebody literally wrote in Granny Panties channel, this woman is lying, and she does lie, and she's clever at lying too, because now she got her husband helping her out with the lies, which also make you a simp. So we got older simps out here. She give an example. Listen, fellas, let me tell you about something. I'm in my 40s, right? This is where all y'all young boys. There's dudes out here that are older than me, way older than me. And these are what we call older simps. All right. Some of these men, they don't look the same as me as their age or whatever, whatever. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of them that just look horrible. But but the point I'm getting at is this. These older simps, when you young men listen to me, these older simps, watch their behavior. Make sure their behavior is not condescending of a younger simp that you will be easily to point out. Now, what do you mean by that, David? These older simps, right? These older simps been simping for decades. Decades. Simping. Hard simping. Okay, baby. They from another time period. Okay, baby. In 2024, if you put them back out in the street, they will be succumb to greed. You understand what I'm saying? This will be because these are older men. They're not in shape. They're not. Listen, I got uncles and all that. All my uncles and them, they in shape. You understand? Say for like, except for one or two of them, they always was doing that. They was always lifting. They always kept this up. That's why I always do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep myself in shape, right? There's some of these niggas that they ain't worked out a day in their life since 30 something, maybe even 20 something. You understand what I'm saying? So they all limber. They look like a pile of jelly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everything flabby, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got the, you know what I'm saying, the flat like that. They can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like when I see fat niggas like that and out of shape niggas like that or whatever, you like 60 something, 70 something, you up in the bar, you getting taken advantage of. If you on vacation, you at this island, that island, whatever, oh, that's a sucker with the money. That's how they looking at you. So he can't step away from her because he already know I'm gonna be the sucker with the money at the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's just what it is. Don't let Listen, sir, and I say this respectfully because you didn't thank you for your service. Sometimes you just got to keep on checking your hoe. That's you got to put a foot down, Sherry. I mean Perry. You got to put a foot down. All right. That the broad of yours is running amok, son, and she gonna run you up into something. She's lying on her podcast. There are people coming in your chat room and saying she's lying. I got snapshots of the shit. So I'm just saying to you, sir, at some point or another, B, listen, man, I ain't gonna hold you. You got to get a lid on that broad. She too old to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And for her sons, hey, yo, man, listen, man, I hate to tell you this, but it's gonna be a time point, and y'all gonna find it out here in the future real quick. That a lot of you vloggers is talking, you're gonna be quite surprised. Remember, I told y'all that. Now it might be this week, it might start out the week after, it might start out the week after that. We got time. But I want y'all to keep talking. Because the more y'all keep talking, what y'all doing is y'all helping Puff out. Y'all don't even realize it. That's the funny part about it. From the girl that was lying on Big Gene and try to lie on Big Joe and try to get both of them to collaborate her story so she could sue Puff and get some money, and was even like, I'll break y'all off something if y'all collaborated, or I won't mention y'all. She messed the story up. Who was representing her? It was even more important to me because I was like, I don't like this dude anyway. I don't like Tony Bugsby. I think Tony Bugsby is an opportunist. And what Tony Bugsby is going to find out very quickly, and that's what we're counting on, when he comes to New York City, he's going to find out, well, the way you practice law in Texas, sir, they don't practice law like that in New York. And you're going to find that out very quickly. So you're coming from a mostly Republican state to a liberal state to practice law. Good luck. Good luck. And anybody that's an attorney, it doesn't happen to be sassy. I don't want to talk to those sassy attorneys. I see a lot of these sassy attorneys showing up on these news runs and everything like that. And please, major media, stop interview. Listen, do y'all know who y'all interviewing? Some of these people that y'all interviewing are like the village idiots here on YouTube. We know this. Y'all don't know, but we know. Some of these people, yeah, I'm not calling out anybody's particular name, but some of these people y'all interviewing are like the village idiots here on YouTube. Some of these people we had tossed away months ago. So we ain't fucking with them. I'm like, God, because of this explosive information, we have to interview this person, this person, this person, this person. Lord Jamal, please stop going on fucking Piers Morgan, dog. What, you got a contract with him or something like that? The nigga is listening to people for the feds. So to the God, Lord Jamal, what is the science for today, brother? The mathematics especially. Because I don't understand, because your divine path has somehow been altered in this whole entire fisco that's uploading on us right now. It doesn't matter. You stay on code, nigga. You let the courts try that out. You don't go over and go, move on, black man, move on. And now you sitting back looking like federal witness in basically what's an interview. That's what Piers Morgan doing over there. I think that's his whole job personally, to sit over there and conduct interviews for the feds. Even when you interview the white people, I think Piers Morgan, listen, MI6 and all them people that are the British agencies or whatever, CIA and everything like that or whatever. If y'all don't know, there's a continuing investigation that's going to happen in England against this whole Puff thing. And I think that's what Piers Morgan tried to fit himself in trajectorily in case it unfolds like that. If I had to make my guess, my other guess is a lot of times you get these do-gooders that are in media, real media, and they feel like, okay, well, we got to take this person down. I saw this happen with Harvey Weinstein, but not to the effect that happened with Puff. Every other night he's talking about Puff. Example, I knew somebody was out there when I went to the last arraignment, and that's why, never mind. Anyway, I knew somebody was out there from his camp or somebody that worked with him, somebody who was familiar with the what's the name, the outlet. And so I said, yeah, man, because since Piers Morgan, man, he didn't set it off, man. Now everybody paying attention, man. Y'all know I was doing that at the Raymond. So anyway, the next day he has Mo Primo on there, which is Tupac's half brother. I said, well, isn't that ironic? Wonder who heard about that, huh? Yeah, the crew. That's who heard about it. You understand? But I want y'all to hear about it. You're doing exactly what, yeah. The more y'all to keep talking, I want to keep on. Keep on throwing up your accusations. Keep on. We've got it now. It's all over now. I need them podcasts up on a daily basis. I need y'all effort. This week, I really need y'all to go heavy. So this week, for everybody that's anti-Diddy blogger that makes money off of it, listen, this is the directive since y'all good at taking orders, right? Because y'all are conformists now at this point. Y'all know how to acquiesce yourself into a line like robots that you are. So here's some new directives for the robots. I need all you robots this week to make sure that you mechanically introduce even more damaging evidence on Diddy. I need you to talk about, I need you to really go in that month. Talk about his mama. I need y'all to implement the kids more. You know what I'm saying? That's going to help out. I need y'all to talk about Delilah and Jesse. I need y'all to talk about them. Okay. I need y'all to do that this week. That's what I need from y'all. I need y'all to have more deploring information about him. Make sure a lot of it is presumptuous tone. I need that from y'all. I need that from y'all. So TT, get on your job. I need some more salacious material. She's a favorite of mine now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do with her. Porque tú eres las mujeres latinas, but tú sabes, pero en YouTube tú eres un negra, ¿no? El americana, ¿no? Esa tuyo, ¿no? Ajá, ya, canso boca. Entonces, estas puñetas mujeres ahí dicen, tú sabes, tú eres un presentado. Pero yo sabe en mi corazón ahí, dice, tú eres una mujer latina, tú eres una mujer americana o negra. ¿Ah? Bueno, no todas subscribers, no toda la gente tú tienes, pero en YouTube es un negro. Un presentado mujer, es un chavo, ¿sí? Sí, yo sí, siempre chavo, pero la gente latino, tú sabes, la mente ahí, ¿sí? Ya. So I saw Granny Panties the other day. She was trying to pretend like she knew Spanish. Had some puñeta. Que la puñeta, Esta abuela. Abuela. Ay, mujer. Tú no sabes español, mujer. Ya con su boca. ¿Está bien? Okay. Anyway, that should be easy for you to figure out. Since you know Spanish and shit, right? Esa puñeta entra ahí, tú sabes, claro que sí, esa puñeta ya. Anyway, puñeta, fucking ya, saying in my mouth. Anyway, listen, let me get back to the diatribe here. The point is, and sí, tú sabes, la gente, one more time, I'm sorry, y'all. Esa por la gente latino, entonces, sabes, estas mujeres, pero en YouTube, entonces, sabes, las mujeres es latina, entonces, sabes, senadora latina, pero la pelo, entonces, sabes, la ropa, entonces, sabes, pero la boca, entonces, sabes, es todas mujeres latinas. Las mujeres latinas tienen un subscribers, toda la gente de las mujeres tiene en un negro, un americano, un negro, entonces, sabes. No la gente latino, entonces, sabes, en toda la americano, un negro, entonces, sabes, claro. So, estas mujeres tienen mucho chero, pero un dio, pero un pop daddy, entonces, sabes. But las mujeres, siéntate en lo presentado, en la morena o negra por las personas. Entonces, sabe ahora. Ok. So, ese manipulation. Es claro. Pero una mujer, era una mujer, era un chinchero. Bunchunchero per la Mario, Bunchunchero per un YouTube, Bunchunchero per un Google, Bunchunchero per la película, per la news. Tú sabes, nada más. Esas puñetas mujeres, tú sabes, en todo el día, bunchanchero, bunchanchero, bunchanchero. Estas mujeres no saben nada. Now, back to English. So, esa es por la gente latino, tú sabes, claro. Los cubanos, los honduras, los dominicanos, tú sabes, la toda negro, gente, tú sabes, claro que sí. Esas mujeres, yo tiene en mi boca ahora, esas mujeres latina. So what I was saying, if you guys will understand, one of your favorite vloggers is pretending like she's a black American woman that's actually a Latina and y'all accepting it. Y'all need to start questioning her. Y'all need to start questioning her. Right, TT? Huh? Simon Mujer? That's a Dominican or a Puerto Rican. You dark skinned, but you Dominican or Puerto Rican, one of the two. Why don't you tell your audience that? You ashamed? Aha. 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 You ashamed? First thing I tell people when they meet me, I say, yo, don't get mistaken. I'm black and Latino. I speak English and I speak Spanish. Make no mistake about it. You understand what I'm saying? Watch what you say around me. Be careful what you say around me. I'm known to be on that type of shit. Let me see what the rest of y'all saying in here. I think I got the what's the names on here the wrong way. Yeah, I do. I gotta learn how to change that. See, I do. I'm sorry about that. What's going on in Mod else? Yeah, see, I gotta do this thing with this. I hate that when my dog's at. That's what's up. Hey, Frank Williams, sorry to break it to you, but voting for Trump will be voting for a dictatorship. No, actually, voting for Kamala Harris will be a dictatorship. I hate when people say that about Trump, even though that January 6th stuff happened or whatever, but that wasn't about one key thing: communism. See, Kamala has been raised under a father that was a communist. There's no mistake about that. You can read his literature, whatever. You will see this for yourself. There have been dozens of communists. And yo soy la cubano, tú sabes. So yo sabe comunisto. Comunisto. Okay, claro para la gente latino. Comunisto. These people that think like this, they think about driving people like cattle or like sheep. A lot of you ladies are sitting out here still trying. I don't understand how educated you actually are. See, there was a time period in this country. This is why I say a lot of these women that are telling you to do this, are telling you to do this based off gender to vote for Kamala. They're not telling you about the actual practices of the party itself. You should have never voted for Joe Biden. I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about with Diddy and everything in a sec, but I just want to answer this one girl, mode and culture, or whatever, because that's not culture. You can't do nothing for the culture if you out here telling people to vote for Kamala Harris and this guy. First of all, I've been in front of Trump Tower the day that of the elections 4 years ago. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get that video. It's still on this page. I'm gonna get that video posted for you, and I'm gonna show you the people that were up there at the time or whatever at Trump Tower. And what you're gonna find very quickly is I said a million times in front of cops, in front of everybody, do not vote for this man. Why? Because at one time, this man was part of when the party was still a separatist party known as the Dixiecrats, or a segment of them known as the Dixiecrats, which you know today as the Bible Belt states. So they renamed it real slickly. Up into 1976, 77, Joe Biden was an adamant, and I do mean adamant, supporter of the Dixiecrats. Now, right now, mode or no mode or whatever the name of your name, mode and culture, I want you to go to your Google, and I want everybody else to go to Google. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. And make sure y'all hit that Cash App, support this channel. If you go right now to Google, I want you to put this in word for word. The Democratic Party is for the white man. And what I want you to do after you Google that, I want you to let me know the image that came up, and this as vividly as you wrote, vote for Kamala. I want you to vividly write what comes up in my freaking chat. Okay? I want you to do that. Frederick Douglass was fighting against the Democratic Party. How dare you or any African American woman or African American man ask of your own people to go and vote for a man who adamantly said, and it is noted by NBC News, which you can also go look up. You understand what I'm saying? If my children were to go to school with black children, it will become a racial zoo. And this is the man that these women told you to go vote for. And prior to Kamala entering the race, because this senile man couldn't hold it down and get the tap attention he needed, oh, good, you're still here. You now turn around and tell us to vote for a woman who has been given a doctrine of communism by her own father, who also, his family owns slaves. Irish owned slaves. I mentioned the Irish in the earlier conversation. They own slaves too. And I wasn't even thinking about that at the time. This man owns, his family owns slaves. They came from Irish slave handlers. So I'm trying to figure out, do black women just like, are they so greedy now? Now, I'm not talking about all black women. I'm talking about contingency of black women. Are they so greedy and so ambitious that they willing to sell their own people down the block for their own little whims and qualms or whatever? What did Kamala promise y'all this time? I know Joe promised a seat on the Supreme Court. He's promised a whole bunch of other incentives for African American women, but didn't do anything for the men. This is why Kamala came out this time and said, "Oh, we're gonna legalize weed for y'all." Da, 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 da. The fuck what? So you think a man of color, the only incentive he would look for is legalizing weed, and you trying to do this on the backdrop of President Barack Obama, who set up the second phase of the woke agenda, in my personal opinion. The first phase was put up by Bill Clinton. The second part of the woke phase that was brought to get y'all to accept things that normally you shouldn't accept. That's what I mean by that. You understand what I'm saying? Including things that are against your better judgment. Dad, they need you at the border to translate to the Mexicans. Stop sneaking over here. It ain't cool. This is an intelligent woman. This is the same woman that was just telling y'all just a minute ago. Say, pay attention. This is an uncultured woman. You always got to pay attention to uncultured women. Another thing that I don't like black American women do, and many of y'all understand this, and I'm talking about the contingency. I'm not talking about all black and American women. There's some sisters here. This right here is a tap dancer, mode or culture. She's a tap dancer. Tell the culture is the type, if she was in a room full of black people, she'd be talking to y'all like this. Oh, Lordy, Lord, child, I know. Have you seen that new recipe? Da, 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 da. And let three white people walk into that same room. She will switch up her whole mode. Oh, that is terrible. That's great. Oh, my God. How did you make actually, listen, what did you put in the collard greens? They are wonderful. They are a spell. This I should turn around and start walking. These chicks are not, and I'm trying to tell you, these chicks are not in this contingency that I'm speaking of for you. They are against you. These women do not like who they are. These women do not, and if anything more than anything, and I know this because I can spot them from a while away. This is why I'm always getting into arguments with women like this. You want to be the exact way that myself and other African Americans and some Latin Americans grew up. You want to be that so bad that you're willing to pretend your way through life. But see, sweetheart, what you got to understand, mold and culture. Whenever I hear a woman and she has an insult to offer back, or you have some type of key to offer back or whatever, that means I got you. I got you. That means all these people here that just heard me say what I said to you, and I said it to you very respectfully. That's another thing I don't like either. That's why I always take a measure of not being so respectful to chicks. And they be like, why? Because if you give them the opportunity, they'll turn around and say something disrespectful to you, even if you respected them. This is a certain archetype of woman out here. So mode and culture, I will say this to you, sweetheart. I'm not gonna cuss you out. It's worthless to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because even after you leave here, you'll just go to somewhere else and say the same thing. But the whole thing is, this is what she wrote. At first, she was talking about vote for Kamala Harris, and she was trying to talk as if she was intelligent. If you were actually as cultured as you are versus being some chick from the ghetto that learned how to articulate herself a few times or whatever, because see, your ghetto came out. See, let me tell you something about being around white people, which I want to learn y'all something. And if you're white American in here, make sure you pick up on it and tell this to them as you see them. One thing you don't understand about white Americans is, see, since the days of slavery, they're very used to black Americans and other minorities brown nosing them. I've talked about this a million times. Am I right, white people? If you in the chat room, write something in there. Would you let African Americans know that you can tell when they're brown nosing with them? And then there's the natural type. You understand what I'm saying? These are people that actually grew up in these environments that you're pretending or an actress role are trying to be. You know, like when you get the African American girl, like I can tell the difference between that too. Candace Owens is literally from the city where I live at. Like literally, I've taken people. She's from here in Connecticut, and from the area I'm at in Connecticut. This is not a if, ands, or but. This is not up for debate. It's the fact. Jen Psaki, who used to be the press secretary, she was the one with the red hair. She's also from here in the exact same place where I live at. This is a fact. You understand what I'm saying? It's not up for debate. There's a litany of Black American women that I know from here in the state of Connecticut, also in Miami, and also in VA and a couple other places that are very articulate, but they grew up in these environments. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't grow up in an urban environment and try to project to the rest of America and the rest of the crowds that they come in contact with, most of the time via online, that they grew up elegantly. They grew up reserved. They grew up entitled. No, what you'll find most of the time is a blue free lunch ticket and a household that never saw more than $25,000 a year. How dare you sit up here and try to pretend like you like me, motherfucker? You ain't like me and never will be. So you only a subtotal of what your life experiences are. If your life experiences have been nothing but urban and nothing else, meaning that your life experiences have been urban, everybody you hang around is urban, everything that you've ever been around is urban, only conversations that you haven't missed is how the white man is after you and how jail time and who just came home from prison and let's welcome home this person and that person. If that is the soliloquy of your conversations or whatever, you have no room in the conversation with me, sweetheart. So before I get you up out of here, I just want to say to this more so than anything else. I want you to notice how she went from being this reported intelligent woman to all of a sudden reclaiming herself and becoming a 13-year-old who she actually is inside. We have no time for women like you anymore. No time for you anymore. And what we got to do is we got to start separating people like mold and culture from real sisters that are sitting down and they having conversations and they making plans. This chick right here is, in my opinion, in a large scale of things, if the shit really went down, she's a liability. She's not gonna fight with you. Listen to me. She's not gonna fight with you. There's some sisters out here that will fight with you. You understand what I'm saying? I done dated some of them. You know what I'm saying? There's girls out here that will fight with you. I'm talking about will fight side by side, be like, hey, here, hold this. You know what I mean? They would go to dishes with it. It ain't molded culture. Molded culture is the type that will cower in a corner when everything pop off. And there's a whole list of these women that are like that, especially a lot of them that are online talking about the toughest or talking about, yeah, it's about to be war. Yeah, it's about to be murders. You know, these chicks, they be talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of these chicks be online trying to lead the charge, and it always shows, yeah, fuck white people and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell y'all something. If you're a white American, you're listening to me. If you have a certain African American girlfriend and you can read right through her and tell that she's putting on an act every time she's around you, and the way you know she's putting on an act is because the pure simple fact of this, she's one way when she's interacting. This is a clear sign of who you're dealing with. They're one way. Pay attention to whenever you're with your African American friend or your Latin friend. If they hesitate to speak to people that look just like them, you should lose that person as a friend in that moment. That person sooner or later is going to get over on you too. They have one clear goal, and that is themselves. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it to you one more time. They have one clear goal, which is themselves. So when they see another person of color come towards them or whatever, they almost look at it as an embarrassment. A lot of y'all that are in here, the African American and Latino, y'all know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. A lot of African Americans don't understand that Latinos do this to other Latinos too. When you have a situation where a person is embarrassed by someone that looks like their uncle, their cousin, or whatever the case may be, you are need to pay attention to that person. That person is not comfortable in themselves, and they can never be in a tribulation to you. They can never assist you correctly. They can never help you correctly because in the back of your mind of minds, you're going to know, do not trust this person because they don't even have respect for their own. That's how you are perceived. And if you don't believe that, then that's what you live by. You will always have these little conversations online talking about, oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. That seems to be what's taking over here online. Conversations that we never would have had. You understand what I'm saying? Or allow certain individuals to have are now being used and abused in the field. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I worked in the ghetto and it is quite different, but I adjusted and met true sisters in Christ. Now we pray together. That's real, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about God in Christ, even though that has a part to do with it. And I believe heavily in God. What I'm talking about is we're talking about people socially. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about how people have been socially woven, and particularly black women, to go against their own. Yeah, Puff may be guilty and may not be guilty. That's for courtrooms to decide. But when you have a preponderance of women that are on here, and I've watched it before, I watched it 2 times before. I watched it with Tory. They were quick to condemn Tory. I watched it with what's this guy's name? R. Kelly. And now I'm watching it with Puff. And a lot of these girls' ferocity pushes along these things. I've seen this happen with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. You know, those girls were back there. Amber Heard was a spokesman for the Me Too movement. You understand what I'm saying? She was, I guess, appointed by that chick that looked like KRS-One. Y'all know the lady that looked like KRS-One that started the Me Too. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Did I say that? She do kind of look like KRS-One though. You know what I'm saying? Step into a world there might be me too. You never see that chick, the black chick that run? Oh man, that's just all kinds of bad. That's all kinds of bad. You know what she kind of looked like? I said this before, and it kind of messed me up. But I saw this motherfucker. Whoever heard of Charles and Miss Netta? Have you ever heard of Charles and Miss Netta? If you haven't, go research and go look them up. It'll have you cracking up. Because this shit is this seeing clips of them had me cracking up. I was like, yo, this can't be real. The chick from the Me Too movement, the chick from the Me Too movement and Miss Netta, I think that's the same people. I swear to God, nigga. Oh, I swear to God, Miss Netta and that lady who's the leader of the Me Too movement, y'all know that black lady I'm talking about, look like KRS-One. Y'all look at her both and y'all tell me they don't look alike. That might be her dad, mom, something. Oh shit. No, we did not say vote for Kamala. Oh no, you out of here. You out of here. You out of here. You think this is a place for you to talk? Nah, you ain't even got no money. Fuck out of here. You gonna keep writing comments in there. She said she turned around and said, I didn't say vote for Kamala. And you're a liar too. I read a comment for everybody to hear. Then she said, I didn't say vote for Kamala. That is exactly what you said. You're a liar too and a loser. I went to her page the whole time she was sitting there talking. Let me tell you how many people she's got. Let me tell you how many people she's got. Channel activity. Y'all gonna laugh at this. She been on here for a year. She got 78 subscribers and she got material on her page. So see, she was looking to come up. I tried to tell you, you gotta watch these people that come in your chat rooms. These people will come in your chat rooms and they see you got people in the chat. They see you got likes. They see it's action. So they'll come in and they'll try to detour people and get them to come over to their page or something. It's like a real twisted. Rick James Super Free. Check that video clip out. Nah, we all good. I had to get that chick out of here. She was big. I'm embarrassed by my own siblings' behavior from time to time. LOL, most of the time, really. That's what's up. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL80. Pin right down there below Javon's name right there. Make sure y'all hit that up and support that. I don't get as much support as I should. What you think about that, Dale? What y'all talking about? Cowboy. No one is better than anyone, regardless of their education. Now, that's some woke shit. You are better than somebody. If I went to Yale and you didn't, and you worked at McDonald's, I am better than you. I got better options than you. I've got better connections than you, and I make more money. It's ridiculous for you to sit in somebody's chat room and say no one is better than anyone, regardless of their education. That is a foul-faced lie. Hell, the doctrine of this country alone tells you if you have an education and shows you that you will be more chosen. You don't believe me? Go right now and go to any prestigious university or college campus in the United States or whatever, and follow those students for the next 4 years. Out of those students that are in that graduating class, I guarantee you at least 80% of them will in job placement comparison to a same student that went to a community college with the same credentials. I guarantee you. Do not tell me that education does not matter in this country. That is a bold-faced lie. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like that. Yeah, you gotta go. You trying to key too much. I don't key with niggas. You ever notice there's always a bunch of guys in here want to key. I respect the girls that come in here want to key. It's always the men. And key. Raised by a single mama. That's what his mama used to do. Key. He used to hear his mama on the phone. I know, girl. Key. Ooh, I like that. The mama do that. And key. I hear some of these dudes like. I always watch the behavior of them. Like they got these dudes out here, right? Let me tell you about some of these feminine behaviors so y'all understand what I'm talking about. Y'all got men out here, specifically black and Latin men, it seems to be. Specifically, some white dudes that do it too, but specifically black and Latin men that have this thing that they do now. And I've noticed it over the past 3 or 4 years. And some of you guys out there, if y'all real ones, y'all notice it too. Where you have these semi-feminine men that have been raised, in my opinion, by single moms. They'll come over to other men and they want men to look at their outfits, look how they put together, whatever. All mind you, the whole time, this motherfucker got skinny jeans on, sagging them with his whole cheeks hanging out and the back of his underwear. I'm like, are you advertising on the block or something, bro? Like, what's going on? I've had men literally, and I mean this, straight dudes that act like they gangster, whatever, and have the most feminine shit going on. Listen, ain't no day of the week should you be trying as a boy to get another man's attention. I've had men walk next to me and start talking loud on the phone. Yeah, my nigga, you know trying to pretend like they got it going on, I guess, or something like that. I can automatically tell who you are. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you had to say. Yeah, she out of here. And then she wanted to turn around. Oh, first you said, I'm talking about that girl, Mold and Culture. She wrote something else before she left. She said, I'm gonna read it out to y'all. This will be fair. In my opinion, both Kamala and Trump ain't both of them. Well, Shorty, you was telling everybody earlier in my chat room to vote for Kamala. Ain't what you said earlier. Watch them when they do that. Watch them when they do that. Try to walk it back. Now you ain't walking it back up in here. I'm a hard on the hoe. I'm gonna let you know I'm hard on the hoe. You know what I mean? You're not gonna come up in here and say one thing, and then when I break it down for you, turn around and then want to walk it back. Now, it don't work that ain't how the world works. Guys, make sure y'all hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get these two out of here. They in here. Ain't like clown. I told you always, man, one of them's name is Sean. Let's see how many followers Sean got. Let's have some fun. I knew it. Sean's been on here for 6 years and got 7 subscribers and got content on his page. What a loser. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for people like that. You know what I'm saying? What's the other one? And the one he was talking to, because they was definitely working together. How many people's he got? 12 years. Jesus Christ, you've been on here since the inception of YouTube. He been on here since 2012 and only got 18 subscribers and got material on his page. See, they this is what they. If you would listen for all you trolls, if y'all was as much time as y'all spend trolling, if y'all would spend time building the material on your pages, y'all be some competition. Y'all ain't my competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't my competition, dog. I don't argue with peons. You a peon. There you go. How you been on here 12 years and got 8 subscribers? That's pathetic. You a peon. Potentially inappropriate message held. Oh, really? What they say? Oh, I can't even view it. It was so bad. That's crazy. You wrote that, Sean Tucker? Yeah, Sean Tucker wrote that. Let's get Sean Tucker up out of here. Sean Tucker, he been on here for 6 years. Yeah, he was along with him. Yeah, he was along with him. Let's get Sean Tucker up out of here too. And we're reporting his pitch ass. This for being over here with them whole niggas. Oh, I get rid of them fast over here. I get rid of them fast. I ain't even get into the joking tonight because I'm trying to be serious tonight. What do we do with our with the women? I don't know. You saw, for example, that chick right there. They'll lie in a minute. They'll walk back what they said and what they were standing on. That chick literally said in my chat room, and I still got the message there. And I'm gonna go back and look at it in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because she said, "Yo, everybody vote for Kamala." Who was here and heard her say, heard me read her comment? I didn't abbreviate it. You can go look for yourself. She said, "Vote for Kamala." Then she tried to switch it up after I went in on her. I was talking about Biden, and she talks about, "Oh no, I'm just saying vote for me." Nah, 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 nah. Too much of that going on. Nah, that ain't how the world work. Ladies, you can't say what you're saying and then try to walk it back after the heat get on you. No, stick with that shit. That's what men do. That's why you can never be in comparison with me because you can't be adamant in your convictions. That's for one. You known for that. You know what I'm saying? You walking nothing back with me. I'm 34 days sober tonight. Have a great night, everyone. That's what's up, Bill. Congratulations. People to get back, you should get it now. People to get back. I don't know what that means to Paul. You gotta write that again. I don't know what that means, B. Any questions in here? Anybody want to talk? Make sure y'all hit up that Cash App. I need the money. I ain't lying to you. Oh, cute. Let me tell you this other one too, right? Let me tell you this other one that a lot of people do on here. Oh wow, I missed 40 people because I listen. Let me tell y'all something. We got a new thing going on with the algorithm on here on YouTube, right? And so it's real peculiar. What happens is that you get a lot of people on here. Let's get this one off here. Yeah, you the punk that just send me the request. That's funny. Matter of fact, before I get off of here, I want to say this real quick, right? Let me just make sure that's you. Oh yeah, that's you. So as I'm sitting here, right, and I'm doing my job, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what I do. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate that. As I'm sitting here doing my job, what I find is the same thing that happens all the time or whatever. Ladies, I understand wholly and fully what y'all mean by a lot of these dudes are feminine and stuff. Let me switch the conversation for a minute. Because I'm not a sucker either. Um, a lot of these dudes are sitting here talking or whatever, they talking to me and they carrying on the way they talking about why they carrying on, whatever, because they getting this version of me right now. You understand what I'm saying? This is the nice version of me. It really is. If you knew my vlogging history, you know real quick I ain't to do that with. So I don't know if somebody sent you over here. You just thought, hey, I'm gonna stop over here and do the key or whatever. Let me make something appropriately clear to you. I am not of regular violent nature, whatever. I'm not a person that's really per se this mean. But I will properly dispose of the situation, albeit if it rises to that fold, inclusive of you know, finding out where you drop your dog off for dog sitters. You understand? I'm not the dude to do that with. So if you got something else stupid to write in here, go ahead and write it now. Go ahead and write it now. I'll give you a few seconds. But what you're not gonna do is come over here to my podcast, but you don't do that at your favorite podcasters and advocate that I don't make any money. Send me a request. I just had a motherfucker send me a request for $1,000. Goes by the name of T-shirts, which is that little punk down at the bottom. They followed Debasca. That was him. Hot diggity do. Fuck your mother. Anyway, that's the type of men you got on here. Yeah, it was him. That's why I waited for him to write something else because I wanted to make sure everybody knew it was him. He didn't send me a request on Cash App for $1,000. This is a man sending another man a request for $1,000. If you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't want to rock out, if you don't want to listen to what I got to say, I got tens of thousands of followers, B. Go about your way. One thing I got to say out here with YouTube, I don't like this whole new system of we got all these motherfuckers that come in here and they talk to us and all this stuff or whatever, and they get real greasy in the way they talk. And I'm telling you, I'm not the dude to do that with. Like, trust me, I know a lot of people say that. This is one of them times where it's real as real can get. I'm a Taurus. I'm a vindictive. I'll wait years to get you back. Like, for real. It's real suspect behavior. Mom, what's going on? This thing just sent me a request for $1,000. T-shirt requested $1,000 for the plug. This is what he wrote. And it's not the first time. I put up a snapshot of I was live one day and I had literally was all men. Wasn't no women. It was all men. Most of the time, women, they just want to come in here and say what they're gonna say, like that chick did, but she was lying. That's why I had to get up out of it because I don't never want you back here. You're a piece of crap. But because once you only get one time to lie to me as a woman. One time. First time she lied to me, and I feel like it's deep enough that it can lead to other lies, you gone. I don't care if you was a friend, whatever. Screw you. You know what I'm saying? For real, that's how I am. But with the dudes, it's real suspect that you sitting up online and you want to talk to another man. I've had men, I've done some lives at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you can't be laying next to a chick. You can't be laying next to a chick because there'll be men in here that'll have sexual innuendos. And I'm like, okay, we doing all this talking about puff or whatever. What about these trolls? And what about these grown men that have a fixation on talking to other men? That shit, that's just weird to me. And you know you a broke motherfucker because a real dude would have never sent me $1,000 request. That's somebody that ain't got no bread. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting up here and I'm doing this a lot of times, man. And I'm just thinking, yo, listen, I think I got another angle for this channel because what I really want to do is I want to get, yeah, I look like DMX. I get that all the time. Let me get this one up out of here real quick. I think, see, that was another man, dude named Bill. He's in here, hitting laughing emojis and shit. You ain't donate no money, nigga. Fuck you. For real. A lot of people don't understand this is about money. You understand what I'm saying? And like if you gotta sit around, it's the crowds, I tell you all the time. If you gotta sit around and you gotta pander to these crowds and you gotta, you know what I'm saying, all that shit or whatever, I'm not doing it. I don't pander to women. I don't pander to African Americans. I don't pander to Latinos. I don't pander to men. I don't pander to nobody. And therefore, since I don't pander to people and I just sit up and say what I'm saying, then it's weird. The world has made a better place. Thank you for existing. I appreciate that, man. Y'all make sure as y'all writing on them comments, y'all hit some of y'all been here a couple of times. Make sure y'all hit that cash app, man, whatever you can afford. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna do a little ones and twos for y'all tomorrow. That's why I stayed in, but I can't be doing nothing off my dime. I gave y'all 3 arraignments with Puff for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So for a nigga to be like, yo, I can't put $10 in this man's cash app or whatever, that's beyond me. The material I have on here is unlike anybody else has on here, previously or now. Like it is what it is. You see me right now in my room, but this is not what I do. And many people know this is not what I do. Hi, I'm from Australia. I hope you're doing well. What's going on, Leah? How you doing? Do you pander to the do I pander to the government? Nah, but I don't like you though. I don't like you. You seem like a bitch. Um you deaf up on a guinea party. You deaf a punk. You deaf scared. Cause you deaf been here for 10 years and you deaf only have 1 subscriber. Huh? So that means you got fake a profile, huh? You deaf part of a Diddy party, huh? You know what, nigga? You know I know you a coward if I get up off of here. You got a profile with no face attached to it. You scared. You got a fake name called AM with your profile. You scared. You on a fake profile talking to a man that you scared of. You ain't from Compton, nigga. Who cares if you from Compton? Compton is gentrified now, nigga. What that mean? What that mean? What that mean? What that mean? That mean that you can't lose it fucking with me? What's that mean? What's that mean? Tell me. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Tell me. Tell me. What that mean? 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 I'm scared. This is the other one. I always find this animated. Anybody ever notice that African American men and women, they'll listen to you say something? I said he was scared, and he replied back to me with the same words I used at him. nigga, you are a loser. You can't even like, nah, nigga, like, come on, stop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying about that? Like, I don't pay attention to no shit like that, man. This that and that once again, a man. The men seem to be the problem in the country right now, and their feminine ways based on all these women that they've been raised by. Don't y'all getting it? It's been a couple women that come in here. Mondale, he get it. It's been a couple women that come in here and said, they'll say a little skew with things or whatever, but it's always the prosperity of the men. I think a lot of these guys, you understand what I'm saying? This from my personal opinion. I think a lot of these guys are sweeter than a motherfucker. You gotta be, dog. You over here, you talking about, I done had niggas talk about, this, that, and the other, and the third. I'm just like, yo, you a dude. Like, in the streets, you would never talk to me about a conversation like that. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all didn't see how it is with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't hesitate. Like that is my main thing. My man Macho taught me that years ago. Don't hesitate with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like if you finna popping a nigga that on sight, like all that talking, like you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, stop it. I don't do back and forths, or tongue wrestling with dudes and all that. Nah, nigga, what's your address? When you come into the tri-state, we can talk about it. We'll meet up for drinks. How about that? We'll take you down by the river, have a couple drinks with you. How about the East River? Cognito gangsters online, man. Motherfucker ain't even got repeat to Russian, man. What the fuck did you say? You must dial down. Nigga, listen, man. Homie, that's the best you could come with. Where your girlfriend at? Yeah, everybody pay attention to Dimitri. We gonna start bombing on some people for the last 20 minutes. All right. I'm gonna come back with the real show in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I got the premise in here, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Repent to Russian men. And your name is Dimitri. You ain't got no girlfriend, do you? Your wife left you. She took everything. Your mother never loved you. They was gonna leave you in Russia, but the abortion didn't go through. Your wife cheated on you with the garbage man. Don't nobody love you, Dimitri. Listen, won't you just go in the bathroom right now and end it all? Do us all a favor. Matter of fact, go live and film it so we all can watch your demise. That's what I want to see. Who's with Dimitri going into the bathroom and doing the Lord's work? Hit a one in the chat right now. Who wants to see Dimitri in his pathetic existence as you should have done a long time ago? You're miserable. You don't have nobody, dude. You don't even have a girlfriend. That's why you were in the chat with another man talking about we must repent. You couldn't even spell a word right. And you dyslexic. How you gonna be a dyslexic advocate, Dimitri? Huh? Dimitri, when was the last time your mother gave you a hug, Dimitri? Tell us about it. When's the last time your mother gave you a hug? Is your mother still here? Did she survive the abortion attempt? What happened? Where's your mother? Huh? Get her over. Is she still doing porn over there in Russia? Is she still a Russian call girl? Huh? Where's your mother? His mother's a 65-year-old call girl in Russia. Don't you ever come over here again, fucking whore. His mother and sister the same person. In here talking to another man. You notice he ain't writing nothing else after I said that. He thought he got some shine. That's weird, bro. That is weird. That's why I was like, yo, this, I notice what you girls is talking about. But y'all can't get mad at motherfuckers like that. You got to get mad at the women that's raising them. You understand what I'm saying? Here go another one in here. Robert. Which one or the other? Your mother's ass. You fucking. That was another one. Y'all see the other one in there? Another man, another dude coming in here talking about KFC or Papa. That's supposed to hurt me? Oh, that's cute. Okay, Lord. That's supposed to hurt me, you uneducated piece of shit. I don't care about you. I be laughing at some of these people because they don't even understand how, like, they trying to play me and I'm playing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny. Like, You say something stupid, it's not funny. It's funny to like 14-year-olds, but it's not funny to my crowd. So my crowd just look at you and be like, yo, this goofy is really in here embarrassing himself. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, back to the conversation. The ladies that are over here in the blogosphere, as far as YouTube and other social media apps, I wish you would stop a certain type of behavior, which is bashing on your own men. Not because you don't have the right to do it. I think you do have the right to do it. But I need you to particularly just fold back a little bit. I know you won't, because a lot of you women are misandrous, and let's just be quite simple, plain and simple. A lot of you are lesbians. A lot of you are misandrous. A lot of you are toxic feminists. And that's just in a partition. It's not all of you, but many of you are. You know, many of these women that you believe it or not, that walk around and they be like, oh, well, man, this and a man that, and I'm by myself. A lot of these women are actually lesbians. You never found it how simple it is in all these rap videos. You always see these girls scantily clad, slapping the cheeks of another woman. You ain't never paid attention to that over in the decades. You ain't never paid attention to the fact that women will sit around and kiss each other in the middle of the club in a sea full of men. You ever notice that women nowadays will encourage other younger women, especially the older thoughts, will sit there and encourage other women to get up on OnlyFans or get scantily clad on IG. They'll lead them almost like a pimp would lead their hoes. That girl that I was talking about earlier, she was 19 years old, black girl, and she caught herpes from sleeping with a man who was a performer on OnlyFans. This man subsequently spread it to probably 3 or 4 other women, and I think he caught it was probably from one particular chick, but he knowingly spread it. There is a place that you have to go out in California from the State Department of Health out there to get tested. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's cute, Igor. Oh, you will too. Okay, Igor. Your name's Igor. Are you Dimitri? You came back with another profile. Oh, you like boys. You joined 8 months ago. I don't want to be your boyfriend. I'm sorry, Igor. I'm sorry. Bye bye, Dimitri. Bye bye. He came back with a fake profile. These niggas is pathetic. Kind of nigga come back to talk to another nigga again? Well, I'm a total lesbian. I respect all the men in life. Please don't generalize. Oh my God. Listen, I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those woke people. You in the wrong location. Okay, Convi 5, you in the wrong location. I said a partition. You heard everything except for the word partition. Please don't come in here trying to do the mammy tactics and the mommy love shit. Be quite honest, my mom saw you doing that, she probably beat you up. I'm being real with you. You understand what I'm saying? Please, I say whatever I want to. It's my channel. You understand what I'm saying? We don't do woke conversations on me. You in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? Here go another one. Yo, this dude really won't stop. He got like dumb profiles. He just keep coming in here talking about Russia. This nigga is bored. Anyway, yes, sir. Don't leave. Don't want to leave your channel. Please don't kick me. Yeah, you're out of your mind. Yeah, let's get you out of here. Sorry about that, y'all. We have a lot of mentally ill people that show up in the chat room. You know, the era of trolling is over, bro. Like if you trolling on here and you're over 25 years old, I say over 22 years old, you look like a child. You're not gonna stop what I'm doing. Is that the what's the name? So back to that guy. The guy that was the OnlyFans performer, yes, he gave like subsequently like 4 girls herpes. And there's probably more. You know what I'm saying? That's just the ones that they caught. But he wasn't going for generalized testing like the state recommends and commands. No, what he was doing was he was doing total opposite. He was going to a private physician and getting tested. And the private physician, I guess, was, whatever. They're not at liberty to, acknowledge that to the whole public. So, yeah, he was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, doing that for the whole, yeah, it's, I don't know, man, it's crazy the way these people think. Like, it's like people went crazy or something. Like, I don't know if it's that. Did y'all take the jab? Is that what made y'all like that? Yeah, herpes is a gift to keep on giving, dog. But this girl's 19 and she caught it. And I saw her on an interview. I've seen her on like 2 interviews, but the one I saw the most I guess the one that most stuck out to me was a clip that I saw that was about 8 minutes long with her and DJ Academics had pulled up on her and was just getting the information out. So you girls be careful when y'all perform with that OnlyFans shit or whatever, because it's not regulated. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I love you hoes. I swear to God. But y'all love me, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Show some love. That's what I want. I'm trying to give y'all some info. Be careful when y'all doing that OnlyFans shit. And niggas just out here giving herpes. And yes, this was a black dude who was raised by a single mom. Ladies, I understand why y'all saying the things y'all saying. I get examples of it right here in my chat room. But y'all hold so hard-headed, y'all don't even want to listen to me. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm working on me. Jesus still, But you hoes got to start listening. Y'all following behind toxic women that are going to lead you to nowhere but a house full of cats and regret. You understand what I'm saying? These women that are talking and the octaves that they're talking right now, they don't know what they're setting up. With this pump daddy shit right now, these ladies are setting up 10 years from now where their own men are so disgusted with them, they don't even want to be around them. I know men right now that honestly and truthfully, and I'm not trying to be funny, I know men right now from all three characters. I know one set of men, they don't even like being around black women particularly. And the sad thing about it is these guys have to be like it's all of them and it's not. There are some great black women, amazing ones. I know them. I'm friends with them. You know what I'm saying? Known them for years. But there's so many more that are just toxic and nasty and belligerent, and they do it all in the guise of misandry, lesbianism, and freaking toxic feminism. I don't care what nobody says. A good reign of these girls that are online right now, a great partition of them that are going the hardest online day to day. They're doing it for three reasons. One, they're doing it for any one of those three groups that I was just talking about. Two, they're doing it because they know it's going to get those spins, especially if they're monetized. Three, they're doing it because of pure simple fact they're hoping to get more subscribers because this is all they got to go with. That's all they got to go with. If you pay attention to a lot of these a lot of these channels and the material they have up on there, the material is worth a but these people, they will support them financially because they come on and they talk with a voice like this. And they're like, hi, everybody. I'm your friend and I'm your favorite blogger and I'm your friend to the end. Ha ha ha. Like Chucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, you dumb motherfucker. How dumb you got to be to listen to some of these broads? If a broad live in the Midwest, what in the flying hell does she know about a case that's going on here in the New York City tri-state outside of Googling every 5 minutes? I'm so sick and tired of these Google thespians. Ain't y'all tired of these Google thespians? Like, won't you just send me the link? And I go, like, listen, for a lot of you vloggers, this is what I want you to do. I want you to just start sending us the link. Don't do a podcast, just send us the link. Because the only thing you're doing is rereading the link. Is that fair? So we like these people are donating to you, not because you won't seem like me, not because you talking to people out there like me. No, they donating to y'all because y'all regurgitate some shit you found on Google while you're living in the Midwest. This is pathetic. What has happened to African Americans as far as their thinking process is concerned? That's the only thing I'm asking. Because right now you're seeming like a bunch of freaking robots that don't have any individual thoughts. It's like, it's like a return to slavery here. You're under directive of Marxism, communism, and fucking stupidity and wokeism. This wokeism shit has got. I think the most people that have been affected so much by wokeism is literally Black American women, a contingency of Black American women, and white American women, and white American men. Latinos are not going to have it. Yo soy el que macho, tú sabes. I had a black girl in here earlier tonight. Her name was Mold and Culture or something like that. She tried to poke fun at me because I was speaking Spanish, but this like bitch, I'm black and Latin. Like, why the fuck would I not speak Spanish? Like, but just to go about and say something like that racist when the conversation wasn't even involved in racism, the conversation was about Biden. And since you couldn't have retort, and my whole chat room, they saw it. There's 90 plus people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all support the Cash App if you're a returning subscriber. I appreciate it. What am I talking about? We talking about a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to have to go back to the beginning, sweetheart. Sup, all the way from New Zealand. What's going on? Just had to wipe the corner of your mouth, bro. There's a build up of spit. Yeah, man, my mouth's dry, man. I don't give a fuck about that shit. If you can't work with it, you can't work with it. It is what it is. I'm a dude, bro. See, now I gotta get you up out of here, man. You out here looking at niggas' mouths and shit. I don't like niggas like that on my shirt, man. Like, if I got food on the side of my mouth, whatever the fuck it is, man, I done have worse shit happen. There's another man in here talking about his Johnson. Y'all read that last comment right there, y'all. Ladies, I understand what y'all talking about. That's a man right there talking to me. That's a man right there talking to me, y'all. That's a grown ass man sitting there talking to me. He ain't got a dime to donate. He ain't got nothing else to do. That's all he got to talk about. Oh shit, hold on 1 second. Hell nah, I didn't do that shit. Hold on, let me get this shit out of here. Let me go back to him. I done fucked around and removed my what's name. See what I'm talking about? Like these little buttons. I gotta find a way to make this screen bigger. Cause this screen, I mean not the screen, but the text. Hold on, y'all. I just gotta go back and find my man who came in here and he had broke my Cash App and I accidentally removed it. Yeah, Abraham was right. Directive 524001, Commerce Manifesto. Damn, Abraham, I wish I would have seen that. Yeah, you know exactly what you're talking about. Communist Manifesto. That's what you see implode in front of you right now. They're hoping that this chick ushers it in. Yo, can somebody write my Cash App again? I accidentally removed it messing with that goofy. $ STRINGERBELL80. You should make it subscribers only to respond in the chat. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because like right now I accidentally removed my what's the name my Cash App, and these people here they don't like. I don't trust any of these people here. They're not gonna fuck with me. Like it just is what it is. Most of these people are here and they just listen to what I'm saying, but in their heart of hearts they don't like people that look like me, so they're never gonna give a dime to me. That's just what it is. That's why I don't speak to most of them. You know what I'm saying? But when they write stupid shit like this cocksucker wrote this in here, and I accidentally, yeah, I'm gonna have to end this in a minute now because none of these people are gonna write my Cash App in here. You know what I'm saying? $STRINGERBELL80. It's all right. That's why I really never take subscribers, or it's only certain subscribers I take for real. Like Abad L, I take him for real. The old gal, I take her for real. A few others. Other than that, I don't. Okay, so nobody will write my Cash App in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this because I'm not about to sit here and talk to these strangers and it's not profitable or nothing else. I'll just let the numbers take their course or whatever and let that's why I said, like, listen, don't take I want to end the show with this. Screw all the other stuff I was talking about. I'll come back and talk about that later. Don't trust these subscribers. The subscriber game is now been switched. You have YouTube now. They're putting this out to a whole bunch of people that we never would have talked to before. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you're seeing all these weirdos. None of these people in here I know. These are not my subscribers. You understand what I'm saying? Or late subscribers, or subscribers that are never ever going to help out with your podcast. You understand what I'm saying? So what I suggest to you is doing is there's going to be a contingency of them that are just in your chat room. They're here to disrupt or whatever as a podcaster. But more importantly, go to your YouTube studio, like I'm going to do right after this podcast. Go to your YouTube studio and just remove people that you see are not supporting you. It doesn't matter if it's 100 of them, 200. I do it all the time. Just remove them. You know what I'm saying? Chances are they really on your D sack like that. They're going to come back, but just remove them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best thing I could do for you. No, you won't be sliding back. I asked you to write my Cash App in there. You couldn't write my Cash App. You ain't sliding back in here. You ain't donate shit when it was up there either. Fuck out of here. Talking about you gonna slide back through. No, the fuck you won't. Have you ever thought about it? You same thing with you too. You keep writing the same shit, but you couldn't write my Cash App, bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany, you gonna write my Cash App for me? $STRINGERBELL80. Or y'all just gonna make this easy for me right now? No, that's a no, Tiffany. Okay, cool. Bye, Tiffany. Nice to meet you. See how easy this is? You just get rid of these niggas. Like every motherfucker in here that didn't write your Cash App, and you saying that there's 63 plus people in there that can't hit the like button, none of that. Just block them. That's it. Just block them. I'm blocking every last one of these motherfuckers in here pretty much. The only person that won't get blocked in here is a model. You know what I'm saying? Like this one. You're worthless to me. And that's what you have to do. Don't be afraid to block people. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? These people, you don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? Most of these people are never going to donate a dime to you. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to support you no matter what you do. You have to be one of those type of people that have like these cult followings, and I don't do that. 70 plus people here. Can I make sure y'all hit the like button? No, nobody can write my Cash App in here either. Okay, well, all right. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I got to go ahead and end this due to lack of participation or whatever. I don't know what it is, but like I said, most of it has to do with racism and gender shit. So it is what it is. Y'all have a good one. I will talk to y'all another time. I did what I needed to do. That's all that needed to be done. But I will say this real quick to you guys. Don't be afraid to go into your YouTube studio and get rid of people. Don't be afraid. And that's what I was demonstrating to you right here. Don't be afraid, you know what I'm saying, to block people. Like that goofy motherfucker right there, nigga. I'm not your friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your friend, nigga. I don't know you. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to block these people. Like this one right here, Mina. I can already tell you're a bullshit artist. You understand what I'm saying? Just get rid of these motherfuckers. Ghost Girl. I asked you to write. You've been in here long enough to see my Cash App too. $ STRINGERBELL80. 80 plus people in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. If y'all can't do that, get the fuck out. I'm not. You're gonna find very quickly. I don't care about support. I don't care about. Goodbye. I don't answer questions for niggas. If you can't write my Cash App, nigga, don't ask me a question and then we gonna be cool. Like, what are you, retarded? $STRINGERBELL80. If you can't do that, same thing with you, cocksucker. You can go too. Like, don't write me a question, nigga, and you can't write my Cash App. Like, that's ridiculous. And I'm trying to tell you, it has to do with being a man of color, and it also has to do with being just male in general. That's just what it is. So you see the misandry that goes on here online, unless you one of these guys is in here and you bashing Puff or you bashing men in general. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just a real nigga. So if that means I can't get no Cash App, so be it. And from the bottom of my heart, anybody don't like me here, fuck you and fuck everybody in your household. I see y'all on the next podcast. My name is Dab Lewis.